live on the stream. We going live on the stream. Then I just need to find where that is. Then once it connects, are we live? I think we're live. It says go live. I don't see us.
I feel like he has a weird voice right now.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. That's Greg's voice. Is that not Greg's voice?
I can't tell if we're live. If we're live, can you tell us? 'Cause this is being confusing. Are we live? Oh, we are live. Guys, we're live.
Hey,
This is what it's like interacting with them. They're just on their phones.
we're
all the
sharing
time.
the link to this live.
Are you?
Yeah.
Greg, have you shared
Yeah.
anything?
Have you
No.
shared it, or are you
Yeah.
I'm
busy
sorry. I've
doing
been
the live?
setting up everything
Yeah.
for the last
Way
hour.
to slack,
Yeah.
Greg.
Guys, we are here
Boy!
to
Hey,
do
I just shared it. Oh,
Superman
Ah.
live stream. We got Roxy for 1 hour.
And 1 hour only, and not a minute longer.
Not a minute more.
I'm too valuable.
yeah.
Okay, this is going to be a fun stream. Thank you for everyone who contributed to Super Chat already. You guys are awesome. And, yeah, we don't end a stream without them. That means we're going to keep Coy here all morning and delay all his other plans that he's got today.
It's not a big day for me at all.
Yeah,
I don't have lots to
He
do.
doesn't have a lot of important things to do as DC Studios correspondent, comic book, whatever.
Yeah, that's the order of those words.
Guys who are in the chat right now, let us know. Thank you again. We will get to all the super chats, I promise. And I got some pictures here that it's going to be a really disorganized stream. I'm letting you know that up front.
Mid-morning, bright and early on a Wednesday, Thursday.
Now, guys,
I cannot see you, man.
You want me to lean back?
I don't know. I'm
Here you
just
go.
so much further.
do you
'cause
need to see
with
us?
like, you're so far ahead, bro.
I need to be for this keyboard.
Look at his.
There's a
he's-
keyboard
Like,
here.
can we all
I need
move
to
up?
focus.
Okay.
You guys will go out of focus.
How's this?
It's okay, Roxy.
She wants to
Everyone,
see us.
it's going to be okay.
Okay.
Everyone take deep breaths.
Oh my god. Duh.
All right, so in the chat, now we have no idea what, I haven't been paying attention to the response at all. I've been so busy like
Yeah, I haven't even
editing and
looked.
everything. I have
Yeah.
no idea what anyone thinks to know, and then that will dictate
10 is the
how,
best.
how we feel about the trailer, because we are only going to, succumb
Mirror
to what you guys
You
think.
guys are Reject Nation. You're the voice
We have
of us.
no opinion.
What is
We don't
your
have any.
guys' number?
I have to ask the internet.
I'm
I don't
like
have my own
I'm like a
opinions.
9.5. I don't even know what that other 0.5 is. It's missing. for
Yeah,
me.
I'd say like a 9.8.
What are you?
I wanted somebody to ask me. You guys weren't asking.
Well, we
me.
were looking at you knowingly. I
Oh.
thought that was enough.
Mm.
What's your?
That was the most man versus woman interaction I've
Yeah.
ever. I thought it was enough to look at you. I thought you knew that.
I
I thought you
thought
knew.
Well, we wouldn't just be like, here's ours,
I
and no, let's
thought-
not care about yours.
I
Let's move
thought
along.
Women like when you just stare at them.
Yeah.
Is that not?
Yeah.
What one
I would
does?
say this was a solid 9. I mean,
Okay.
but the thing is, I talk about this a lot, but I'm not a critic because all I do is base my thoughts on my feelings in
Right.
terms of my reactions to movies and television. It's only how it makes me feel. So I guess based on this, how it made me feel is a straight up 10. The reason I say 9 is because I always think that there is more to be seen, more to love, more to know. We've only watched it this morning, so it very well might end up being a 10 ultimately because I don't think that there was 1 second that I didn't love of this.
Uno momento. This says the audio is cutting in and out
And
of
enough
our
people
stuff
have
right
said
now.
it. So sorry.
Yeah, so
one
now it's
moment.
becoming like a real thing. Let me play it back on my phone really quick,
Apologies.
and then that can help me determine what the case is.
Andrew may have gone back to sleep.
Tyrone Magnus already hating on it. Okay. Damn you, John. I'm so upset with you right now. Sorry.
Sound keeps cutting in and out. We love
One
Roxy.
moment. Why is it cutting
whose
out?
sound is the most clear, and should they just talk for as long as the sound is cutting
Whose
out?
audio is cutting out?
Yeah, let us know. I feel like they weren't saying audio is cutting out until I started talking, so maybe I should.
Maybe it's your mic?
You. Yeah.
You're like, no, maybe not an hour, maybe 2 minutes.
Bye, guys.
It's fine with
fine.
me. It's
Audio
fine with
in
me.
and out.
If you refresh,
Those
it
are-
fixes it.
Oh, refresh, everybody.
Okay, everyone's saying it's fine.
All right, we're starting
All right,
YouTube.
Okay, cool. I don't know what that was. Oh my God. Literal almost panic attack right here.
Yeah,
on the
I
stream.
right
feel
and
like
early. It's been a
maybe-
big week.
Maybe Greg, take your own advice and breathe. might be
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
deep
true.
breaths, Greg.
All right, well,
Look
we got to
up.
hop into it. I know we got some super chats, but before we go into that, Coy, you are the DC correspondent person. What is the first picture I should pull up that you want us to talk about while we're here?
I would like to pull up 2 photos, Greg,
oh
side
my God,
by
two?
side.
What?
I want to complicate
Really?
things. I want you to pull up a photo of Clark Kent. I want you to pull up a photo of Superman because this is a very big.
Which photo are we talking
The
about?
one you labeled Clark.
This one?
Yep.
Okay, and then what else?
Let's see. Let's also pull up. Let's do
It's supposed to take me like
Saving Kid.
10 minutes to do this,
Saving
guys.
Kid. Clark
Give
and
me,
Saving
give me like
Kid.
10 solid minutes, and I can get this done for
So
you.
what I think while he pulls this up is this is maybe my favorite example of this is two different people I've seen in a superhero lore. This genuinely looks like two different individuals, which I really enjoy. The amount of effort that went into the energy of it. Greg and I both went to a Q&A and heard the portrayal, and man, David Corenswet is both Superman and Clark Kent. So this is what has me excited, is kicking off the universe with this kind of portrayal. I think that's such a genius move. Not only is
I think
Superman,
you're killing time so well right now
I
while
think-
I do this. I think you're doing such
I'm
an
ready
excellent
to
job.
jump in with you because I couldn't agree with you more, Coy. I mean, this is absolutely like if I was gone to first and Greg said which two photos, I would have done the exact same.
thank
thing
you,
because
Roxy.
I'm so with you. It is, I think, the biggest, if you're not a comic book fan, the biggest complaint I always hear from my movie lover friends who are just not comic book nerds is, don't you think she would know if the glasses were off and on that it wouldn't make a difference? She'd recognize, that Lois especially would recognize, or anybody would recognize Clark to Superman. And I think that because if you're trained reading comics, you know, like, whatever. Who cares? So they don't know. But this is a movie, and this is
Different
2024.
medium,
and
different
this is a different
acceptance.
medium. It's a different audience. We are starting anew. And truly, truly, when Clark is walking through the crowd at us,
Yeah, I love that they
for a
cast all
second
short
was like,
extras.
is
Oh my
that
God.
David Corenswet?
Yeah.
Like, for a second, I couldn't recognize him as Superman, and I know it's him.
I
So,
could do this, guys.
Oh, look at that! Greg's
I'm so
learning.
excited
Greg, I
right
was in
now.
the middle of being brilliant.
And it was
I know,
brilliant.
but
She
I'm
was
in the
killing
middle
it.
of discovering how OBS works.
I'm so
in real
happy for
time.
you.
That
I'm
was
so
what's
happy
matter.
for
We're here
you.
to celebrate OBS.
So, but I'm just so with you, Coy, that I think it's really cool that they're doing that. And it's not just in the appearance. It's not just in the different style hair. It's not in the
Mannerisms,
suit.
everything.
It's the mannerisms. It's his facial expressions that we even saw in this small trailer. That it's his posture, the way he was walking, and the way he was hunched over as Clark, and the way he's upright as Superman. Congratulations, Greg.
I just think, come on. See, the chat's
Look at
being
it.
really sweet
Look
to
at
me
it.
right now. They know I struggle so bad with this.
okay.
Anyway, but no, Roxy, you make solid points. Coy, please acknowledge your
what were
points.
the-
I
what
have
were
You
they?
can't just
I have
stare
been
at her.
acknowledging your points.
You can't just
Coy's been having a full-blown conversation
echo
with me.
it back.
Dialogue, back and forth.
Focus so much.
Greg
on
has
it.
those
That's
two
why there's you
images
guys are
done.
here. Yeah, there's two images are here.
Look at those images. So
did it.
what I love is that if you start a universe as big as we have, with the Creature Commandos monster madness, and then going into something that is so large in scope that a kaiju doesn't feel out of place, you need something to ground you, but you also still need that suspension of disbelief, and I think you lose that if the big conceit of Superman and Clark Kent being different people doesn't work. This gives you a grounded conceit that is otherworldly. You've got the insane conceit of kaiju and monsters, and it's a gods and monsters first chapter, and this brings us all of that, which I dig.
Oh my God! Did you say kaiju? Coy?
I did, in fact. Look
Because,
at the prep
guys.
on
In case you
Gregory
don't know what
Alba.
he's talking about,
Look at that.
there is a kaiju that I
In the
managed
trailer.
to get a photo
Look at
of
the prep.
to show the upgrade in
Look at this.
quality. That
Look
we
at
have. So, do we know what this kaiju is?
He is, to my knowledge, a general kaiju. I could not. I can't scroll through my mind palace and think of a specific kaiju that he could be. Roxy, is there anyone you would label him as?
No, I was thinking about this, and also I'm really curious what percentage of the movie that this kaiju is in. I think it's interesting.
I think it's going to be a showing of strength or a big, like, look how crazy the world is because we have heroes in it.
But not for a huge chunk, right?
Yeah, I don't think for
that's
long.
what I'm thinking as well, which is why probably he's not super specific, although he might be. And,
Yeah,
and we
it
might
could be.
missing
I
something.
could just, if someone in the chat knows if this kaiju is like, Ted from issue 27 of the Golden Age of
It's-
Superman.
Man, it's Ted.
That
You
guy looks
forgot
like
about
Ted. I mean, no, it's Ted the kaiju.
I
My
got
favorite character,
He's
Ted the kaiju.
Ted, man. It's just Ted the kaiju.
Greg's going to be really excited about this frame he just did.
I think the visuals look
Look at it
so
go,
good
look at
here,
that.
guys.
Yeah,
Good.
Koi being cut in the middle is
This is really aesthetic.
good.
I think it looks so good.
Such a vibe.
You're doing amazing.
Greg's so happy. Just
I'm
be on
so
the ones and
happy that
twos.
we just have this really great looking
Yeah,
live stream.
look at
today.
us. Look at us.
I'm curious how the kaiju got here, who set him loose on us, if this has anything to do with Lex, or if this is just showing the world that we're in, if this is just going to be a blip, like a glimpse, and they're just, or if this is a previous time, a previous moment.
Could be the opening. It could be,
100%.
you
like,
know,
this could be-
established strength.
I think it's just going to be the opening scene. Guys, I have no idea how to get back to the three of us.
Good.
Okay.
This is a real problem I have now encountered.
Well, you zoomed in too far, Greg. Now it's a two-person show.
Let me
This is what Greg wanted.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there you
okay,
go.
thank
All right.
God.
Hey, look,
Greg,
it's the three of
Greg,
us.
I do have a question for you.
Yeah,
because
yeah, I'm
you and
listening.
Coy and I have spent so many hours of our life talking about comics together and DC specifically.
Uh-huh.
I have never talked about DC or Superman or anything of the likes with you at all.
You should.
Are you? He's what?
He's a big Batman guy.
Oh, big Batman.
Batman and Daredevil are his
Big-
favorite two
You
characters.
love Batman and Daredevil.
I'm a big Batman.
I
guy.
hear
Big
a little
Batman
birdie
guy.
told me you love Batman and Daredevil. What is your
Mhm,
experience with
mhm.
Superman?
Um,
Do you like?
I did not.
Superman, or
I did not love Superman a lot. I liked the animated one, but I'm not gonna sit here and act like, oh my god, he was my favorite.
Okay.
He definitely wasn't my favorite, and I was part of the camp that had a hard time, like, really understanding. Like, I don't really get it. Like, yeah, he's invincible, and I feel like when you're a little kid, that's really cool. But when you get really into storytelling and just in concept and theory, I wasn't too drawn to him, just because of the fact I'm like, how do you beat this guy? So it was a while until I was like, oh, I really understand what it is about him. However, I think, you know, the show, I haven't finished it, but the show Superman and Lois, I think, really did a number for me. And I love Christopher Reeve as Superman. That really did something special for me. I've always found him really special and touching, but I really think, I don't know, I like Man of Steel a lot too. So I for the most part, I've liked Superman to love Superman, but it was a while. It's probably not like middle of teen years where I was like, okay, I think I'm starting to finally understand what it is.
Well, for somebody who then talks about liking characters more like Daredevil or Batman, I think that this probably really did it for you with the opening. Where we're
Absolutely.
seeing somebody
You need.
bloodied on the ground.
I'm sorry, Roxy. Did you say the opening?
Oh, did we
I
say the
did.
opening?
You mean like
Perha-
this
Oh,
shot
he's
of the
ready.
opening? Oh my God!
I'm scared.
Did you say? Oh,
He's
thank you.
just- look at
Thank
this-
you
look at
so
the
much,
preparedness.
Roxy, for setting
Mom,
me up.
can you come pick me up? I'm scared.
Everything is
you
about the
know this is,
graphics.
and I promise, guys, I know we're getting so many super chat. We will get to all of them.
Well, I have to acknowledge Jasmine Page Moore in the chat asking how we're so awake and lively. Jasmine edited the social media video I posted today, so
Yes.
thank Jasmine in the chat. I appreciate her very much.
So what a
That's how I
shot,
feel
man.
Yeah.
inside, though. I
That's
feel like
cool.
that.
What do you guys? Okay, so this opening
Really?
shot right here.
I'm so tired.
Oh my God.
Are you not
honey.
tired?
We
I hope you don't feel like that.
I feel like
He
that.
looks like he's
I
been
went
through
to
the
bed at
ringer.
1:30 and I got up at
Oh.
4:30.
That's
That's 3
I went
hours.
to bed at 3 and got up at 4.
so I have a real. I know Roxy never sleeps. My real.
And I'm here and I'm ready, baby. Let's go.
I'm worried.
Yeah, me too.
A man is speaking, Roxy.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
a good point.
A man in a
Please.
tie.
A man.
But is he a man of steel?
CEO
So-
Greg is speaking.
For that company.
For the company!
You guys don't even know what that means. But
Should we
okay.
explain it? Because I feel like you're going to reference it a lot.
We got to get to the point and stay on quality
For
here.
the company.
All right. So the opening shot of this, did you guys in the chat really love this opening shot? Because one thing that when I first thought it, my subconscious after dealing with the internet for so long was, are people going to be like, oh, wow, well, James Gunn can get away with like dark, messed up Superman, but people had issues when it was like Henry Cavill, you know? I had a feeling that was just one thing that sprung to mind.
That it opens
Because whenever
darkly.
there's been a slight bit of darkness, like with the promo shot they put out,
Yeah.
they're like, "What is James Gunn gonna get away with this?" but when Zack Snyder does it, everyone hates him or something, you know. And I thought maybe the trailer might do that, but I feel like it's the journey of the trailer. Because if it would just stay dark,
I think
then
the whole thing is supposed to be it's ascending, right?
Yeah,
Like we look
exactly.
up. The whole trailer's looking up. It starts low, so you have place to go. Like if the trailer started, I like that the 90% of the trailer is bright and cheery and energetic, but I think that feels even more like an ascent because it starts in a dark
1,000%.
place. And I also think it's the vulnerability of this Superman. Like we are going to see someone who is connected to humanity. We're going to see his relationship with Lois. We're going to see him romantically finally. We're going to see a connected Superman. So I think starting dark is a way in.
I didn't look at this as starting dark necessarily. First
I didn't
of
think
all,
dark personally.
Yeah.
You didn't think Dark Clark?
The Clark.
I did not at first. First of all, we're surrounded by white reflecting the snow. I understand what you're saying. Of course, he has been bruised and battered. But I think that this was a brilliant opening because if you have been following Superman for a really long time, or even a brief time, then of course everybody knows he's a hero. You're rooting for Superman. But we always have to remember every time they start a universe, this is somebody's introduction to Superman. And watching this trailer might be your introduction to a new Superman. How do you make somebody rootable? How do you say immediately,
Connect
like,
to 'em.
this is the person that you're supposed to be rooting for? Everybody can relate to being down and out. You're looking at him clearly, and Coy, I don't know if you agree or disagree with this, but he's here for a reason. He either just got into a big fight, somebody tossed him here, he fled to here, something just happened. You can tell that. But here's what we don't know. Why, what, we just know based on this, we're rooting for him. We want him to get up. We want Krypto to come save him. We want him to not be down like this. Such a smart way to introduce us to him. And I'm not saying the movie starts like this, but the trailer saying
our
this
first
is your
introduction
guy.
societally
Yeah.
to this Superman.
Is not the person that you might think is like untouchable.
Yeah.
And for the Gregs of the world who are like, no, I really like characters that they have flaws and they have weaknesses. and-
Humanizing is so important for characters that are, metahuman,
Right.
that are larger
Yeah.
than life.
And the reminder that even though maybe he can't die, or of course he can, but he probably won't here, he can be extremely hurt.
Mm-hmm.
He can be heartbroken. He can be heartbroken for the world. He can be beat up. He is not exempt from having pain.
Well,
Agreed. I was just
Whoa.
trying not
Guys,
to sneeze.
hey.
Whoa, that
Hey.
was a wild sneeze.
Yeah.
May
came
Lord
out of my ears a little
Superman bless you. Okay, so I'm starting to see a little bit of negativity come into the chat, and then I've seen a lot of people talking about Luthor, Lex
Sometimes the
Luthor.
block stands
So
for hope.
What's
I
the
feel-
negativity about the trailer or about us?
Well, a lot of the negativity seems to be mainly about the negativity is not super negative. It's more like I don't know. I'm not 100% sold on it yet.
Oh,
is
that's
what,
not
what a
bad.
lot of people in the chat.
My
are saying.
comments on my video have been.
I am actively reading your chat whenever
Kinda
Roxy is
confused
talking.
by-
Yeah.
yeah, I know. I'm kind of confused by that, though, honestly, Greg. Like, I'm not sold on it
I
yet.
meant metahuman conceptually. I know he's an alien. I meant like the
I
idea of
understood-
connectivity.
I
But
Yeah.
understood
the,
what you
the
meant.
literal audience is going to be like,
Yeah.
he's the comic correspondent. Call
And
him a metahuman.
I believe me, I know we got a lot of. I saw a couple questions come in. I know we got a lot of super chats. Keep them coming. We will get to all of them soon. I just want to make sure we're getting through a lot of this good stuff. So let's talk about Lex Luthor, can we? Which photo do you want, Coy? Do you
This
want
is exactly
this
it.
one?
This
This
is
is the
it.
one you want?
This is why I freeze
Yeah.
framed and show Coy. I said, Coy, look at this. Look at
Look
this.
at
Alright,
that,
guys.
Nick. Look at that, Holt.
I think the body language of what he's doing is great, and we all know Nicholas Hoult is an amazing actor. He was originally auditioning to be Superman, right?
Even in another iteration, he has been up for Superman twice, if I heard correctly, and most recently in this. And I thought he would have been a great Superman as well. I do now see the perfection that he is to me as Nicholas Hoult, Lex Luthor. Like to me, this is the comic character that I love that I think will identify at least a little with his take, and I love that. Like Nicholas Hoult is so good at being empathetic and demurring, as well as big and braggadocious. Like he can play the great, he can also play warm bodies. He can be the Nux in Mad Max Fury Road. He can be Beast. Like there's very different polarities to him, and I'm really excited to see this kind of grandiose character, but with that, like I'm protecting humanity. I'm doing what's right for the world. And there was a moment in the Q&A where he hadn't had a question asked to him in a little while, and he was just sitting there, and then the guy asked something like, how are you and Lex similar? And his response was like Lex Luthor. His response was something to the effect of, I think there's a world wherein Lex can do more for humanity than Superman can. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's a Lex answer.
That was one of
That's
the
cool.
best answers because it showed that he's not having a villainous approach to it at all, that he really believes his ideology might
Exactly.
be best for society.
Yeah.
I think that Q&A was surprisingly very telling
It's
without
one of the best
telling
Q&As
a lot.
I've been to.
He had a really great story about the first time he saw David Corenswet in the Superman suit and how it almost brought like a tear to his eye, and he was like watching him do his shit, and then he like looked around and he saw that, oh, everyone else is actually having the exact same reaction, but he was like so in his own moment
Yeah.
experiencing it that he didn't realize everyone else was having that
Yeah.
too. Yeah. That's cool.
I think that not only does he look amazing here, but coming off of Superman and Lois, where there was a Lex that was not my, not the iteration of Lex that I prefer to see. He was very like if Yellowstone and Lex had a baby.
Oh, interesting.
Like very like cowboy-esque. And the actor actually did an amazing job. It just was not like, to me, Lex is somebody that always I think of, he's the smartest person in the room. He's scary because of his mind and his ego. And you mentioned The Great, which is one of my favorite shows. I absolutely love that show. Nicholas Hoult, to me, does best when ego is involved, not as a human, as a performer. Like, he does such a great job playing an egomaniac, which is Lex,
Yeah.
and was him in The Great as well. And so, to me, every time that he was up for Superman, I was like, wow, he is one of the best actors of our time. I just don't see him as Superman as much as I would see him as Lex. So when this was announced, I couldn't have been more stoked because
Yeah.
I think this is where he really shines.
I also think it's a really good opportunity for people to realize, like, he's not. I think Nicholas Hoult is right there on the edge of household name, and I think that's the perfect time to have someone play Lex Luthor. Is like, I want people to realize how incredible the dude is, but they also don't associate him with a lot of other roles.
Yeah.
I think he's so chameleonic. It's not going to be, oh, this guy's playing this. Like, I think Lex Luthor has as an ability to be a defining role for him.
I just want to say really quick, a very quick aside. I have no idea. I have a theory as to what you guys might think. I was reading about Jesse Eisenberg talking about how his performance as Lex Luthor and the reception damaged his career for a little bit. And I'm one of those people who actually liked what he did.
I
Yeah.
think that he did a great job.
I thought it was good for that.
I don't think, though, I think that everything happens in time. I just saw the movie A Real Pain, and I think that Jesse deserves all of our love and respect. I think that that movie needs to be seen by people, and you can't feel too bad for somebody who's still an absolute megastar. So
True.
you know,
True. You know who's also a megastar, guys?
Rachel Brosnahan?
yeah, I wasn't
Was
sure
that
where
long
he
pause?
was.
Or Nathan
Or Nathan
Fillion. Let's get to some good
Fillion!
stuff, right?
We are going to talk about
Nate.
Lois Lane third, Gregory.
Man, bowl cuts. I'm glad they're not around too much
Yeah,
anymore.
that's a thing of beauty. Look at that.
Okay, this was fun. This is fun. Like, watching him, I was like, this is cool. I really think that this looks great, and I don't know, man. It just like brought a little light. Even the coloring here, I think is really cool.
Before we totally leave Lex, so sorry, I just remembered. Nicholas also brought up our favorite Lex, as inspiring him. Michael Rosenbaum is who he cited, so that also makes me very happy.
You
Wanted give
have
that
to,
some
like,
love.
you can't not
think
give
he's-
credit to Michael. He just is so powerful.
I just loved hearing Smallville cited as the Superman they grew up with.
Yeah, man, that's really cool.
But yeah, back to the Bulk Cup. But yeah, I know you and I are both huge Rosenbaum
Yeah,
Lex Luthor fans.
Huge for sure.
I love that we got a taste. I think we won't see a ton of these characters because it's building a world. I know the people that are going to be complaining about nothing, that it's a Justice League movie when it clearly isn't. I don't even think they're working together yet. But
this
these
is in
characters,
Stag, right, Coy?
I believe this is in Stag Industries. Yeah,
Okay.
so I think there's going to be
Can
an
you
established.
explain what Stag is?
Simon Stagg is a tech industrial billionaire geneticist, and I assume they're going to be doing a storyline wherein Maxwell Lord, Lex Luthor, and Simon Stagg are competing in some way. I assume in a warfare situation because we do see shots that look like they're in other countries. I think my assumption is Maxwell Lord has hired superheroes to be his protector of the company, and they're very branded in these costumes that are like, NASCAR jackets. And basically, Maxwell Lord will have superheroes on the payroll. Simon Stagg will be trying to create one. And then Lex Luthor is like, we don't need this. We need humanity to be, humans protecting each other. So I'm wondering if this is Maxwell Lord sending out people to to sabotage Simon Stagg, and then Lex Luthor is doing it through his own mad science.
Do we have a Simon Stagg in this universe?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, because I'm not sure.
We just saw Stagg very briefly, like a frame or two.
Yeah, we saw it said Stagg Industries, and it is possible that we have a Simon Stagg, or they're just having Maxwell Lord be there and it's just Stagg Industries
As a
he is
competitor and-
whatever it is. But I think that exactly what you're talking about is what we're going to see, which is really a great place for Superman to shine when we have multiple people who are out for themselves and think that they know what's best for the world and are doing evil stuff, and then Superman can really come through and cut through all the noise, because also I love stories where the enemy of your enemy, enemy of your friend. So I feel like this is a good way for Lex and Maxwell to kind of team up against Superman
100%.
too, especially if he's going after them, even though they probably hate each other as well because they're competitors.
And like billionaire espionage and that crazy corporate world tying into warfare is a lot of what Superman needs to address if we're looking at like a worldwide threat.
So I got this photo of Guy Gardner I just pulled off the internet.
Yep.
where
Guy
else would I pull
Gardner,
it?
who is
A Green Lantern.
Yep.
Although
And
this does look like a Green Lantern shot that we
So
have
let's
right
get
now
a little
with
bit
all
of a
the-
side by side here.
Oh, there
for
he
top
is,
to bottom.
looking majestic,
So
doing
yeah,
the
I think
work.
That's pretty. It's a good adaptation, I guess.
He's not accurate. That beautiful.
Yeah,
haircut.
yeah. I like it. I like it.
Greg, you really want to keep your
Look,
ripped
just Greg's in
arms.
this.
Yeah, he just wants to keep
It's
his-
just
his
Greg.
buff
It's Guy
arms.
Gardner and Greg.
Yeah.
I
There
think
he
this
is.
is the best looking moment of the stream right here, guys.
There it is.
Really
You just
good.
breathe it in, embrace
I
it.
don't know if I could ever
If you
go
could
back
ever
to what it was
stream.
before.
Yeah, this is it now.
That was the longest pause.
Yeah.
He said, "I don't know if I could ever." And then I looked over to make sure he hadn't choked.
No, he got
Are you
distracted
with us,
by
Greg?
himself.
Are you with us?
No, he got distracted. I get it.
Okay, so Hawkgirl,
Yes.
Hawkgirl.
Let's talk about her for a second.
Please.
Isabela
This is one of
Merced?
the things that was such a bummer coming from being a huge DCCW fan. We lost our Hawk people too soon. Sierra Renee did such an amazing job, and then we ended up losing our Hawk people
Look how
very soon.
messy
on
this table
the,
is,
Look at
guys.
this chaos.
Roxy, I'm
Look at
sorry,
this
but look
Sprite.
how messy
You
this
just cut
table
Roxy
looks.
off twice.
Look at Roxy, please.
I really was on a roll just
You
now
were.
too.
I know.
You had names
And I'm
and
aware.
CW
I just like to
references and-
challenge
But
Roxy.
And then
Yeah.
we went, then we went over, and yeah, our Hawk people just keep leaving us in every iteration. So I can't wait to see her really shine here, and I'm very excited for her to. I think this movie's going to be wildly successful, and she is coming off of not as successful as a comic book movie. So I'm very happy for her because I think she's unbelievably talented, and at such a young age, she's done so much great.
Her whole
also-
I worry for her Hawk Tua
I
girl.
know. That's a bummer for her. But she looked, the brief shots that we see of her look sick. The movement looked really sick, and seamless. I'm very, very much so excited for this. Kendra Saunders, see her come to life would be just amazing on the big screen.
I'm also with you on Isabela Merced as a person. She's in a lot of stuff, but not everything's landed. So I'm really excited for her. Kind
But
of like I
not
was saying.
because of her.
Not because of her. She's great. But like that's kind of what I was saying to Nicholas Hoult's obviously much more of a household name, but I want it'd be cool to see these actors get established like household name roles. Like I
Yeah.
really think she could establish herself as a great Hawk girl.
I really think a lot of this comes down to tone as well. Some people complain about costumes and such, but I think tone is kind of everything to dictate how we respond to a costume.
Well, yeah, because the
And-
world is so vibrant and lively and
Yeah.
unique and comic. You look at Mr. Terrific. Like, he looks so ripped
I'm
from the
sorry,
comic books.
Coy.
Oh,
What
actually,
did you
Greg,
just
look
say? Look at
Mr.
Mr.
Terrific. Is that a thing
Terrific.
we could do? Gregory?
We can. He's
oh,
right
would
here.
you look at Mr. Terrific?
Look at Mr. Terrific.
Oh,
looking terrific.
Looking just like a drawing out of Strange Adventures. Look at him looking great.
I'm
That's
just,
most recent
I'm just,
Mr. Terrific arc I
just
enjoyed.
adjusting it, guys. Guy in middle looks baked as F. It's
I haven't
funny.
slept in
he's
days.
the only one of us who does
don't
not get
smoke.
baked. That's the funny,
Yeah,
funny
I
part
can't,
about this
man.
But
whole
I
thing.
never get baked before I go on air.
Yes.
I'd be hiding under
can't.
that table thinking aliens were studying my
Oh
brain.
my God.
They might be right now. Are you
That's
seeing
right.
what's going on in
Oh,
New Jersey?
man, the drones. Christian will tell you all
They're
about
not drones.
Okay, guys, please. Hawk
drone.
Hawk Tua.
it. Hawk up!
Mr.
No,
Terrific.
Don't spread that.
What's
Greg.
Hawk Tua?
That like girl that
You
stole
don't know what
everyone's money off
Hawk
the
Tua is?
crypto coin she made.
Hawk 2 on that thing?
What did she do?
She
How did she get famous, or what did she do?
Someone
Do
interviewed
you
her.
know
She
who
talked
Hawk
about
Tua is?
she talked
Is this
about things I
something
can't
that
say on
has to do
YouTube.
with Falladio?
Yeah, I don't know what words I can say because YouTube.
And why can't we say that word?
YouTube's prudish?
No, why can't we talk about her?
Oh, because she stole so many people's
She's now
money.
going to go to prison, I'm pretty sure.
But also, like, if you were dumb
unfortunately.
enough to invest in a coin based off of a
I'm
girl
not
who's
dumb.
famous for, all right,
I'm gonna get that money back.
yeah, Greg,
You'll
get it
see.
back.
Anyway, Mr. Terrific.
Cheese fears do
Who's
look
playing
awesome.
Mr. Terrific?
Edi Gathegi.
I think he looks great.
Make it stop. Make it stop.
Make what stop?
I don't know.
Oh,
The
but I
company?
assume the conversation about it.
Yeah.
Edi Gathegi is an absolute delight. Have you interviewed him?
No.
He's a good buddies with a friend of mine, so I know that he is a diehard comic book fan and
Cool.
was so upset with how things went down with a certain other comic book character that shouldn't be able to be killed and then was. And I am very excited to see him get to play a character that I think is worthy of
he
him.
was an X-Men.
He may or may not have been the only character that shouldn't be able to die in a movie about people that it doesn't make sense.
Yes, I
But,
remember.
Eddie is a delight. Eddie's a workhorse. The dude is like such a beast. He got so yoked for this. He is also an actual comic book fan. He is one of the most dedicated actors I know. And Mr. Terrific is as intelligent as he is capable, which are two different things. Like a lot of people are.
Even seen his face, how much he beefed up for this. Too.
Yeah.
That's great.
And now, like in comic books, a lot of times intelligent people are just smart and they don't actually like have day-to-day skills like in the battlefield. What I love about Mr. Terrific is he's capable and intelligent, and I think that Edi's going to bring such a gravitas to convey the articulation of language, but be an actual assist to Superman. Like, if you're making a world where superheroes already exist, you have a difficult problem because you're starting with the most powerful one in Superman. Or again, don't come at me, but power scaling Superman's up there. But I think it's hard to have someone work alongside him because it's Superman, and I think Mr. Terrific's an absolutely great like number 2 on the roster for this introduction.
Greg, I don't know if you're saying it ironically or not, but when we were watching this trailer for the first time, then afterwards until we started, you kept being like, Mr. Terrific. Do you love Mr. Terrific?
This is what I wanted to ask, because it looks like he has super strength in this trailer. We will talk about Pac, and I pulled up a picture. Don't you worry.
I mean, Edi Gathegi does. Look at that
If I have
second
a photo, we're going to talk about it.
He's got a photo!
So, my actual real introduction to Mr. Terrific was from the Arrow show, and I had no idea that character would become Mr. Terrific. So that's my main understanding of who he is. But when I see this trailer, it looks totally like he's got superpowers. Whereas in the show that I saw him in, he was mainly a tech guy.
Oh, he's way more than tech in the comics.
Okay, yeah, because he's like straight up going up against Superman in like what looks like a football stadium.
Oh, that's a mislead. It's a guy it's the guy
That's
that's
a
in the
different
all-black
person?
suit. Yeah.
And he doesn't just stay a complete tech guy in the shows. How far did you make it?
No, I finished all of Arrow.
Okay.
That was just my. This isn't Mr. Terrific right here.
I would almost bet money on it. I think it's a mislead. I think they
really?
edited it together to make it look like it is, but I think that's the guy we see in the mask briefly in one of the shots.
We should be
There's
memeing this.
There's a mask.
Well,
figure.
This doesn't look like Mr. Terrific's
Outfit.
costume. No.
Yeah, that's not Mr. Terrific.
Oh, well, the way they edited it,
Very
it looks like
intentionally.
he's fighting him.
Yeah, it did, because we see that scene where he's punching through a wall.
Yeah.
This person here.
Yeah, and that's
then we
masked.
see this, and then we see the next thing is a shot of Mr. Terrific. But that's people think that this and the other one are Ultraman.
I know a lot of people think it's Ultraman. I don't know. I think it's possible, but if Ultraman is who that character is, that's the shot. Like that. If Ultraman's in the movie, that's Ultraman.
My bad.
My question
It's okay.
to you guys.
It was edited to trick you.
I found the photo.
And it's possible that we don't know yet, but based off this, we are seeing a fight here. We also see the kaiju at the beginning, and then of course we see Lex's face is kind of messed up as well. Based on that, what we have seen, we open with Superman looking beat up. Do you think it's from one of these fights or one of these people that we've seen so far, or do you think it's unrelated?
I think it's a bad we haven't seen in the trailer.
I think it might be that super old guy.
Yeah, I think that's Parasite, but I don't know.
Wait, hold on, everyone.
The way that Greg just is naming people so he can pull up their picture.
That is not my game.
Greg pulled a lot of
He's like,
photos,
you know who it might
guys.
be? It might be Lois.
Photo 7.
Is your
Yeah, you
time
beat him up.
Is your time up, Roxy?
I think this is perhaps this photo. Oh wait, was that Pocket? Yeah, I don't know who this is. Obviously we haven't seen the movie. But I mean,
the Nightwalker came over from Game of Thrones.
it's to me giving Parasite vibes. Like, I could be wrong.
The blue eyes look drug related. I don't know.
What kind of drugs you doing, Roxy?
Alien or drug related, man. I don't know. You know, they do those drops and they turn.
Oh yeah,
like,
he goes into the Batman universe to do drops and come back.
Yeah, exactly. Or he would jump.
You
over
guys
to
think that's
Doom.
Metamorpho?
Guys, I know who
Okay,
it is.
so that would be.
I
That's
could
played by
see
Sean
that.
Gunn, right?
No, Metamorpho's
Who's Sean playing?
Sean Gunn's playing Maxwell Lord.
Oh,
Metamorpho
right,
is
right.
Anthony Corrigan.
Oh, Corrigan. Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Carrigan.
Carrigan,
He is
thank you.
He is so good. That does not look like him.
I don't know if that's Metamorpho. I could be wrong. Because the shoulders and everything else, I see what you're saying.
Guys,
Wait, but that does not look like Anthony Carrigan.
you're so wrong. It's Zordon from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Actually, the left shoulder and the right shoulder.
That's
You guys,
exactly who it
I
is.
now do see. I haven't frame by framed this yet. I think that is
This is an
Metamorpho.
exclusive. That is definitely Zordon
It
from the
is-
Power Rangers.
Can confirm.
When he is injured and the Power Rangers have to save him, that's who it is.
Yes, it is confirmed. Zordon of the Power Rangers crossover. I do see this shoulder now, guys. We haven't frame by frame this yet. Thank you. I see your texts.
What do you
I
think
get
it is?
I think it's Metamorpho. Because look at the left shoulder's purple. And the right shoulder is the same.
Let's get a
tone. So
photo of Metamorpho.
I think, but it doesn't look like Carrigan at all.
Yeah, at all.
So I mean, that's good makeup.
Yeah, but of course the prosthetics that are on his face.
Gonna reshape your face.
Yeah, I mean it's literally his nose.
I get you
his
guys saying it's
eyebrow.
literally purple. I hear you.
You're not a little bit concerned that this movie. Okay, my slight concern, honestly, just is that even though I know this is not like a Justice League movie or whatever the heck people are thinking, I am starting to wonder if it might be a little too compact with characters.
I don't think that they're going to have that big of a presence. Like, based on the trailer, I think the trailer really shows us this movie is focusing on Superman. I think that this is going to be a Superman, main villain, Lex movie. Superman and Lois, main villain, Lex. Everybody else kind of comes in it.
I messed up the stream.
No, Gregory.
What do you mean? What happened?
You broke it.
Put the wrong photo in.
Oh.
Photos
Can
really
I get
breaking his
through
heart.
a single
No.
Once you start talking, that's
when he interrupts. I'm gonna listen to you, Rox. Maybe Greg will let us. Go ahead, please.
Well, mine was in direct response to his concern, which isn't your concern.
No.
So I don't even think
I'm just here.
you and I don't have that concern. So I was trying to ease his concern,
You're right.
but I don't think that it worked.
I'm just here for the audience to be mad that I didn't recognize his shoulder.
I think that the best thing that they can do is create an entire world. And
Yeah.
they're bringing it. We know who's in this world. We know. I know people were pissed when they found out that they were casting a Supergirl. I'm like, what? Why would you be pissed about that? Why would you be mad that there's a Supergirl in the world of Superman? Same thing with every single casting announcement we've had, the entire cast list. This is the planet that they live on. This is the world that we live in. And so there's going to be stories about people. We don't know. Things could be in flashback, flash forward. Things could be in current day. Things could be happening in for a second or for a whole act. So I just think that it's silly to think that we're being overrun by cast when we don't even know what percentage of the time that anybody's in it for.
Well, but guys, it's created engagement in the comments by saying that. So frankly,
it works.
I think I did my job.
Greg
Also why
did
Coy
his
pretended to not know who this was at
Yes.
first.
Yeah, totally. For you guys to be like purple shoulder, and I was like, let's
did
drive up
not-
this conversation.
I did not see that.
If I had, I would have known Metamorpho, but his face does not look like what I consider Metamorpho. I don't think of the. Anyway,
we got a lot
this
of
man's wrinkly.
yeah, and I think of Metamorpho as kind of like neutral until his body is different layers. But
we got a lot of
apologize.
super chats. We've only gotten half the photos. I want to make sure we get to the super chats to acknowledge the people who have contributed.
Maybe he was in the hot tub for a long time.
too long.
But is there Roxy, please, I am talking.
Yeah, I can do it to you once, man.
I'm just gonna be here.
Wow.
Mom and Dad are fighting.
Wow. Do we really want to create tension in front of people?
For the
Right now?
company.
For the company.
For the company. For the company. Is there anything else you want to pull up?
Can we talk about
Let's
Lois
talk about
goddamn
Lois.
Lane?
Okay,
Lois.
I got many Lois
Lois
shots.
goddamn Lane.
So I got
Go
that
back-
one,
no,
that
go, Yeah,
one.
go to the one of them
With-
floating for a second.
This one where they're in the sky.
love
I love
Lois
this
Lane
shot. This
so
is a
much.
very iconic shot. I love
My
this shot.
God, it's
a beautiful
beautiful.
shot.
Such a beautiful shot. Where do you think they are?
Train station.
Subway station.
No, I think they're in. Actually, it might be.
It looks like they're still in the Daily Planet.
You think Hogwarts or what?
Yeah, totally.
I think it's.
I think she just got her letter.
I think this is the Daily Planet.
WB crossover.
Like
Definitely.
from the ceiling and stuff.
Definitely could be, but bold move of him in Daily Planet. It's a workplace harassment Supergirl.
Yeah, but he's Superman there. He's not Clark. You know.
I know that's the problem.
I love the height difference.
This is a beautiful shot. This is something that when we did our trailer reaction that I mentioned, and I think that everybody was on the same page about. I want to see them intimate. I want to see them kissing.
Nice.
I want to see them hugging each other. I want to see them madly in love. That is something that the Superman and Lois show got very right.
Mm-hmm.
The chemistry is so important. And I think that I am going to feel like Lois is so... I've struggled with this character for a really long time because sometimes she's ultimately useless. And I'm so excited for Rachel Brosnahan to make her so useful because she's quirky, she's smart, and she's Clark's reason for good here. Like, it's just it's so beautiful to watch them really love each other. I'll never get sick of seeing love on screen ever.
That was such a key part of my trailer experience, was how nice it is to see a superhero blockbuster not shy away from human emotion. And I feel like we do have so many superhero films that are so neutral when it comes to actual passionate emotion that isn't punching.
Yeah.
I think it's so important in a movie about hope to feature love. I think love gives us hope, and obviously that's so important to the character. And I think Lois is, and this is going to piss off all the right channels, I think Lois is the most important character that doesn't wear spandex in DC Comics. I think that she is our eye line into both Clark and Superman.
Who would people argue?
A man.
Who?
Any man that isn't a woman.
Like Jimmy?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm just pick a man. Those sites will find someone to be like, I just said that because it's a woman. I think that someone who is an intelligent, capable writer informs the Daily Planet. I think someone that is an incredibly emotionally intelligent person that's survived her father is so good for Clark. I think that is such a key eye line, and I think casting someone who can handle the iambic pentameter of Amy Sherman Palladino, someone that can, do the incredible work on House of Cards, someone that can bring such weight to her importance, but also to the character itself. And talking to her at the event, Rachel Brosnahan said her best way into the character was talking to journalists. She loved interviewing journalists. She loved getting an idea of what journalists, like how they ticked, how they learned to not say no, and how to navigate the world of getting a story. Like, she was so inspired by journalists, and it was really cool to see her fiery passion even in discussing like the field of work. So I'm such a fan of Rachel Brosnahan and also of the character that this is the anchor for me. I've seen so many movies with punching. I get it, and I love big scope, and I love those movies, but I miss love so much. Pepper Potts and Tony Stark are business associates. When they had a kid, I was like, when? Between meetings? Like, I want love and passion in these characters, and Lois and Clark are so important to me.
Listen, getting it on between meetings, not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea, but show it. Well, not all of it. Otherwise, you might show some shoulder and get Eternals fans upset. Remember when the Eternals came out and people were like, there was boning? And it was like shoulders up. And I was like, are we that prudish? I mean, YouTube blocks every word. We were founded by Puritans, and we're still puritanical. This country is embarrassing with love.
I love that when people comment, they're like, I can't believe that you're muting this word or blurring this
Not
thing.
us.
Like,
not us.
Yeah, just for funsies,
More
we do
boning.
extra work. We do more work.
Yeah, exactly. We love an extra edit.
It's amazing. Okay, Greg, that makes me
Speaking
know
of
that you wanna
boning,
talk about Krypto.
we've got a photo.
We have not talked about Krypto, and it is pissing me off,
Give a
people, that we
Krypto
have
a
not
bone.
talked about Krypto. That first shot where Krypto is powling through. Powling? Is that the word?
Powling. When he's barking, pow. When running.
Powling.
Yeah.
Powling
I feel
through
like
the
just
snow.
maybe just powing.
Powing through the
Powing.
snow.
Powing through the snow, here Krypto goes.
What James Gunn talked about is that they're going to have like a complicated relationship, where he's just I imagine it'd be like a tough dog. And James Gunn has said he has cats and he loves cats, but he's more of a dog person at the end of the day. And I think
Greg's sneaking that in there about the cats because he needs everybody to know that he's
Cats!
cats. It's cats.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cats like
Yeah,
cats.
Yeah,
He
you
likes
get it.
cats.
You get it. Yeah, no. I don't like this, like, who do you like more, cats versus dogs thing. Like, frankly, I don't think we need to pit these two animals against each other anymore. I think it needs to stop.
Okay.
Okay?
High horse, get on it.
All right? I just feel like it's just awkward when people, like, talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
Crypto.
Crypto.
So
Crypto.
he said that he's
Crypto.
We're all back.
You said that they have a
Hawkgirl's crypto coin.
complicated relationship.
It'd be a complicated relationship, and I actually have an idea. You kind of fathom what that might be like when you're trying to raise a dog, and the difficulties that might come with trying to train a dog, and then what difficulties would come in the form of when you have a superpowered dog. And I imagine there'll be like a lot of the relatability that dog owners would have, but then what kind of hijinks and craziness might they actually get into? I feel like a dog can cause like massive destruction when you have this level of superpower, but I feel like he could be potentially like the heart of the movie. It'll probably be the one that is one of the most talked about characters because he's a dog.
Another thing humanizing Superman, a man
Yep.
and his best friend, right?
Yeah.
Like and putting Krypto here early on is very
I
smart.
can't believe we got Krypto
as
in
well
a movie.
because I don't know what I was gonna say. Greg.
I'm sorry, it was just a little side thought.
I know.
Humanizing, man's best friend. I said
gonna be his
Superman's
best
best friend. A way to connect you to the character, little Krypto.
Said Greg's the best person ever.
He's gonna be peeing all over the Fortress of Solitude.
He lost money in the
newspapers,
cryptocurrency game.
cryptocurrency.
And
Cats and dogs living together.
What was it? It was that there
That
was
worked?
a lot of there was a lot of controversy around Krypto being in this movie. There was a lot of people who were like, "You're really gonna do Krypto?" And I thought that was bizarre because, like,
Yeah.
yes, and why not? Why are you guys being so weird about
I
this?
think this is the movie that gets me off Twitter.
Yeah, it's possible.
I think
'Cause
I've
seeing
had
people be
enough.
so upset that Krypto was going to be in this movie before we even saw Krypto. There was just that
Right.
one image that dropped of him and Krypto, and people were like livid. And I'm just sitting here thinking, how I don't relate to a single one of you for a second. This is such an exciting moment.
I
for
think that's the
us.
macro for me. Like zooming out, if I want to believe in a world of hope, and this trailer gave me so much hope, and this character gives me so much hope, and I believe in this new universe launching, I don't know if I want to be exposed to people that are that repugnant. Like I don't know if I
Well-
want to know those people exist anymore.
Constantly, people are forgetting the meaning behind the art that they're watching.
Right.
You guys know that I dealt with this on the Lord of the Rings reactions, but the people in the comments they who love something so much are the biggest fans, and yet you miss the message of the movie.
Mm.
And I do feel like hopefully when people watch Superman, if Superman is the movie that I believe it's going to be based on the stuff that we've seen, based on the conversations that Gunn and Safran have had, and based on just my thoughts on where DCU is going, then I hope that this is a movie about love and hope and strength and community and joining together. And if it is all of those things, then that's the message that people should take away. Treat others with kindness. Step up when you are the one that's best to do the job and do the right thing. As opposed to, I can't believe they're putting a dog in the movie. It's absolutely ludicrous that people don't understand the message behind the art that they love.
And it is louder and louder. So I think I want to enjoy this one in a vacuum. I want to be in the Fortress of Solitude watching this one because I want to enjoy it.
I want people's opinions to influence my opinion.
I mean, you did ask in the beginning.
Yeah.
What number should I give this trailer?
I want people to tell me how I should feel, and then get mad at me for not
Agreeing
concluding
with
my own
them
feelings.
exactly, even within a decimal place.
Yeah, guys. Okay, this is great. This is great. I want to make sure we get to the super chat. We're gonna start the super chat game. Roxy, we got you just for a few minutes.
Yeah,
A few more minutes.
yeah, you got me for a little
A few more minutes. Why don't you call your grandparents? Tell them to postpone breakfast. Say it can work on your schedule from here on out, right? All right.
Funny.
Hold on a sec, guys.
Didn't you just hear me do a whole speech about understanding the message of helping people?
You assumed I
Nuance.
was listening.
A woman was speaking.
That's
Greg,
where
Greg
you
was pulling up
went
photos.
way wrong here.
Excuse me, is there a photo I can pull up? Devin McKay, I got my hoodie from DC Studios.
Okay.
Because y'all know what he does for work. Right?
According to Greg, I'm a DC correspondent, comic studio.
I think he
I'm
said
sorry, Coy.
correspondent
That
guy?
they need to change the title.
DC
All right?
Studios
it is
comic
way
correspondent.
too complicated.
Place title.
I-
DC
n-
Studios
no
comic
one,
correspondent.
It does
Correspondent.
not roll off the tongue.
What
DC
should I?
comic,
It does not roll
Should
off
they
the
call
tongue.
me God?
I'm just telling you.
DC Studios comic correspondent. DC Studios
It's
comic
where
correspondent.
it's the job. Like I'm a real rejects host. Like it's a place and a job
Hang on, everyone. I have really messed this stream up even more.
for
Okay.
the company.
For the company. In the meantime, while I'm adjusting
I was gonna
this-
read and then you took it away.
No, guys, can you do me a favor?
Crypto was that
I
they
don't
breed
know.
dog.
Even though we
Fidget spinner
are
people hate it,
reading
really
the
try and
comments
just get
the
attention.
entire stream, once we hop to super chats, people immediately assume we don't pay attention.
We
at all to
pay
what-
attention.
and I'm
Coy,
like, we are
the DC.
1,000% paying attention
I
to
can
the
see
live
half.
chat.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I just need to adjust everything.
Greg
here.
is mean sometimes. It's for the company.
It's for the
It's
For
company.
the
so
company.
funny to me every time. It's an inside joke for us.
I do it just to elevate everyone around me.
Mhm,
You guys aren't
mhm.
wrong.
He's actually not
though.
me.
I bec-
Koi Man left me to your
I
great man.
become
Thanks.
the
I'm on
enemy.
true. And then you can all unite against him.
I become the enemy for.
Oh,
This is-
decoy! I like
this
that.
is
That's
not a
my
pretty
that's
looking-
my that's my job, Greg. I'm
But do you
DCOI.
say DCOI or decoy?
oh decoy's already a name.
Yeah.
A decoy's already a word.
Yeah, but not spelled like that. It's not.
Cool.
Is there a way I can like rotate?
Guys, we
this?
found
my
out
rap
today
name.
that Coy and I are coxy.
We're
which is
coxy
amazing.
when we do reactions together. We're coxy.
Cameras
It also feels
definitely
arrogant, which I like
crooked.
for us.
Really good.
Coxy.
Yeah,
I'm not coxy. I'm confident.
Yeah.
Cool.
We're coxy. Because otherwise it's Roy, and that's a name.
Yeah, it's just.
And no,
Roy.
coxy.
Roy,
Yeah.
Roy. Remember that?
What
Yeah, you guys remember that?
Shoes are here.
Because our fly video's up. I think we did one more.
Yeah, that one did well for us. Yeah,
Yeah.
what was it?
What was the other one?
You guys did The Devil Comes to.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so good. We should do that to celebrate David Desmalchin being
That's
a light.
not what it's called, Greg.
The devil
but I
came
like
down
it.
to Georgia.
The Devil came
Said
down
you
to
guys
Georgia.
did Devil Comes to Life. This weekend. Late night with the
Late
devil.
night with the devil. The
Guys,
devil
we got
comes
like
to life.
we got like a billion.
Yeah, that's
things
a lot coming in.
shot.
All right, let's get to these comments.
I don't think we should publish The Nun today because
It'll get drowned out.
Yeah,
But that's me.
Oh, Shire and Roxy.
Yeah, that's why.
Coxie and Groy.
Wow, we got a lot. Thank you guys so
nice
much.
ship name me and
Thank
Greg
you,
got.
guys.
Groy.
What
Okay.
are Greg and
Oh
I?
my
Robert
God, there's so
isn't
many
part of
super.
this
This
universe,
is
correct.
a
Groy-
great
Groy's
Groy's
a-
great
also
position to
me
be
and
in
Greg.
right now.
Oh,
Thank you
yeah.
guys.
No, you'd be Groxy,
A little overwhelmed.
which
No.
sounds like a delicious drink.
No, because I'm just.
The scrolling keeps going.
Yeah.
Your last name is your name is Roxy.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
forgot for a second.
Our first
You're not
super
coy.
chat of the day, everyone.
I'm Roxy.
You're Roxy. That's
Roxy,
your name.
please, can you read the first super chat of
Yeah,
the
I
day?
can. Thank you so much, KO Productions. Love how bright / hopeful the colors look for this trailer. Did you guys notice Kellex looking dead in the trailer?
Oh, sorry, I'm totally blocking it for you.
I
Sorry.
think Lex Luthor will find the fortress and end up creating Ultraman. No, you guys know I'm also blind.
Yeah.
I think that's a possibility. I'm torn by how far they go into Lex's psychology of what he's willing to do, because the idea of him hating an alien from another planet because of humanity would be tricky if he creates something that's alien adjacent. But if he could mad scientist rationalize, it'd be interesting.
What do you think about him finding the fortress in the first of the Superman movies?
I feel like him discovering who Superman is a decent end of first movie revelation, because we're gonna build this universe out so crazy, and there's plenty of canon where he knows.
Oh, okay.
I don't know
so
if it's
in this
too-
movie, who do you think knows that Clark is?
I think it should just be Lois. I think in the beginning it'll just be. I think it will get a Lois discovery moment.
But so you don't think from jump she's gonna know?
Could. And I wouldn't mind.
When they were next to each other by the desk, it seemed like she was eyeing him, which makes me think we're gonna get a discovery.
I think
moment as
a
well.
discovery moment would be really
Sure.
cute. So I'd
Yeah.
like a discovery moment.
Yeah,
Oh
me
my
too.
God. KO Productions
And I
came
like
out-
when she falls in love with Clark before she
Falls in love with
Superman.
Superman. I totally
Yeah.
agree, and I think that arc is important for us
Yeah.
discovering this Lois.
would
Yeah.
never happen in real life. KO Productions also follows it up with, I also agree with Coy about chemistry and romance. I'm tired of
Shit.
everything being about saving the world and not seeing the little things like romance and Superman saving the little kid in the trailer. So nice to see that again.
There seems to be 2 moments in the trailer where he saves kids.
Yeah.
The kid with the flag and
In
the
Bavaria.
girl who I thought had a VR thing on.
Who
with
was
some
that?
bangs.
Bangs?
I go,
a girl's
Coy.
looking down, like, what are these in her eyes? And I was like, bangs?
Well,
I
you,
literally thought she was
hair?
in some kind of virtual
Just
reality.
looking down.
you know that trailer moment, the one that's at the thumbnail where the person does throw something at Super. Why do you think they're attacking Superman?
Yeah, so
'Cause
there
he's
seems to be
alien.
a mob behind him as he is walking into Stag. In that shot, and somebody that throws a can at the back of his head is what you're referencing, Greg.
Yeah.
Clearly, there is I think, some kind of a slam campaign against him and what he is doing by probably Maxwell Lord and Lex Luthor, one of the two, both of the two, who are trying to get people to see, and this just happened in Superman and Lois as well, that he is more destructive than he is good, that he's alien, that he doesn't belong here, yada, yada.
Right.
No relevance to our current.
Live chat. I also think that it is very important, if you're going to save the world, to care about the world. So moments like the kid and moments like chemistry between two people, Pa Kent, like, you need the humanity in order to save humanity. So I'm really excited about that as well, to answer your
Okay.
question.
So things that we have to remember to get to: Robot and Vault.
Robot
Wanna
and
make
Vault.
sure we do talk about those
Do
in
you
this.
think that we're going to see Superman at an earlier age?
No.
Clark
I,
at an
I think
earlier
I
age?
think he wants to ignore all that.
I think we've seen it a lot.
Yeah.
I think we could do without it.
Yeah, I think we could
Yeah.
do without it too. I am curious though on how much of his origin story we see, and
We
we
know
got
it pretty
that
well.
Pa Kent shot, but what are we doing with his family?
So often, Mom and Pa Kent aren't dead.
Yeah,
I would be okay with them being
Yeah.
alive in Smallville.
Hey,
both of
Grimbane.
them. I think she's been cast.
I hope she's alive.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Totally.
sure she's been cast.
Coy, why don't you read this one, please?
Okay,
My
I
little-
vote for
my little
Roxy.
sweet-
Just
sweet
a little
Coy.
head a little back head rub. I vote for Roxy as the new Supergirl in the DCU. Sorry, Roxy, they've been cast. She already has the full Connor Kent inspired costume with its own flair with those fire boots.
Yes.
Thank you.
Those boots
you.
were made for walking, and that's just
Right.
what they'll do.
I want to say, asking Roxy lives the furthest away out of everyone here,
And she got here.
and she
very
got here
early.
very early. Texted me at like 4:30 in the morning, and I really appreciate her.
Are you
being
saying
here.
that because they said you were mean sometimes?
Yep.
Yeah, but I wanted to like space it out. That way, it seemed natural
yeah, I
when I
did
brought
see
it
that.
in.
That way, when he does a
Yeah.
timestamp, it'll be nice to Roxy
Yeah.
as a chapter.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
for
gonna
sure.
be like live stream. Nice to Roxy.
Yeah.
Live stream continues.
Let the people know.
Yeah.
Let the people know it does happen.
Listen, I think that being Supergirl would be the coolest thing, but if you're gonna let me pick Black Canary, man,
Oh, I could see you as Black Canary.
oh, it'd be so.
I'm into
sick.
that. I'm into that
I
for
could
you.
see that.
And yeah, co-signed, but Millie Alcock is playing Supergirl,
And
she
she's
is
so talented, and
she's
she's
so good.
also in a similar age range as Jimmy Olsen is, which I think is really cool.
And she also has that otherworldly, like, but fierceness that I think is so important for Supergirl.
Yeah.
And that whole cast is amazing. One of Tomorrow's solo cast.
So, Raccoon Shampoo is
What up?
saying,
Welcome back.
Thank you so much. And Greg, your shirt is messing with my brain. Where's it from? I got it from Amazon because I knew about the Q&A, and I was like, I'm gonna wear a shirt that stands out among the
it's
crowd.
really cool.
Even if
And
you're
I
gonna
gotta
shout out loud.
You know that song?
I actually don't think I know what you're singing.
Goofy movie?
Racist.
Oh,
Everyone knows.
Straw Hat Goofy taught me that it's a movie that's really popular in black culture.
oh my
It's
God!
so
is
funny
that
you
why
didn't
he's
realize.
Straw
I
Hat
did
Goofy?
not
You
know
didn't know
that.
that?
No.
He's trying to
I
give you
just
One Piece.
watched it and accepted it and loved it
Yeah.
without
Greg
any
doesn't
thought
see animal-based
about
color
race.
or cartoon animal-based
it.
color. That's it. Greg doesn't see
I'm
that.
a good guy.
Yeah,
Like
look at
Keanu
his
Reeves
shirt.
says in Knock Knock, I'm a good guy. You fucked me.
He's on our channel.
Marcos
Thank you, Marcus.
He did a
Santos.
video with Keanu Reeves yesterday.
Rox, take it away.
Yeah, move your arm. I've become a new new fan of Superman starting at 17 of this decade. I got All-Star Superman as a
Dope.
Secret Santa gift. Oh, that's so cool. So I got some good reading to do. Wow, that's a fun Secret Santa gift.
Excellent job, someone secret.
Coy, what comic books, if you were to see this trailer and then be like, hey, here's ones you should. What's the one? How about one?
Damn
What-
it, Greg.
Narrow it down to one.
I had
Because
to
Coy
read.
read
I feel
any
like-
comic books?
I feel
What's a comic book?
Coy goes on Wikipedia
I could do
and then
3.
turns
I do.
on the camera.
Hold on, let me just.
Let him Google it.
yeah.
Can I just see what other people are saying? Comics to read? Oh, this Coy Jandro guy seems informed.
Yeah. So, what is the one to start someone off to be like,
If
hey,
it was one,
yeah,
All-Star Superman is the one for this
Okay,
story. It's
good.
the vibrancy. It's the Grant Morrison inspired. It's that reinvention. It's a very accessible comic. A lot of this looks like Frank Quitely art, and Frank Quitely is informing a lot of the visual language of this film. So All-Star Superman is also the book that James Gunn announced it with. I would definitely say that's the one if you're going to do one. If you're going to do two, Superman for All Seasons is an incredible Jeff Loeb, Tim
Yes.
Sale book. Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale did Batman's The Long Halloween, which inspired a lot of Batman movies. I think Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale speak in very cinematic language that a lot of filmmakers adapt in very loving ways. So I would say that is a very accessible one. It features very Americana language, which this does look like it's informed by. And I would lastly say, if I'm going to do 3, Alan Moore's Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow. As far as a style of narrative, it feels very James Gunn. When I talked to James at the event, he mentioned that as a book that he really enjoyed, as well as Silver Age stuff. So Silver Age is going to be a big, broad spectrum of tone, but Alan Moore's Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, he's mentioned specifically to me as something that he was reading. Because I literally, when we were talking, I was like, what should I tell people as homework? Like half joking, but half serious. And that one was the one that I did not expect. Like, that was the curveball for me. So check that one out.
Do you remember when you saw James Gunn? He's like, hey, you're Greg Alba's friend?
Yeah, he did.
Remember
He was
that?
like,
I was like,
Greg,
that's
I was
cool.
like,
Did he
Greg,
say
yeah.
No. He has
Oh.
no idea who I am. You never remember. I've been like,
Wait,
no.
Can you say what he's? Can you
It
say
will
what he
not
said?
look classy.
Greg-
Wait, no, this is really cool.
It will not look
Can
classy.
Can you
I
say-
will
tell-
I will
tell them
vague
the
book it.
story?
I won't give the
It will-
exact
it will
quote,
not
but I
look-
will say vaguely that
Okay.
Coy
I
has to pretend to be humble
Wait,
when
no,
there's a
Greg.
camera.
This is serious. This was really cool.
I was waiting to say hi, and there was a very sweet moment where James had clearly seen a lot of the work I was doing and thanked me for actually reading the comics, and we had a really connected moment that I won't share the details of because it was personal, but it was really special. That one of my favorite comic nerds and I like nerded out over seeing certain characters similarly and like thanked me for doing what I'm doing. So it meant a lot that like someone that makes art that I love cares about
Wait,
my
Roxy,
input.
stay right there.
Can I tell you why I'm like this?
Yes.
I was so excited to tee up Koi for this story that I ultimately was going to use as a clip out on our channel. What did Greg do in the middle of your story?
Cut to my crotch.
He zoomed in on my boot and your crotch and then kind of like pushed over. Like, this is what all the time when I watch you guys live streams, I try to do clip outs. It's just moving.
Because Greg likes the moving and the photos. You like the using the footage.
I like
But,
actually doing my job.
He was very
Brody.
focused on
I'm sorry. I'm not live streaming.
Cut back to the post.
I'm not living
cuts back to the post.
streaming to thinking about how to
Clip
make your job
outs.
easier,
It's not gonna make it
Roxy.
easier. It's
Yeah.
gonna make it doable.
Yeah.
Just
He was-
fine.
Greg's out here just trying to show off my Kal-El in between segments, and I'm like, whoa,
Like,
whoa,
it's
you got to pay for
really-
that.
It's really cool that it's very cool that James Gunn
It was really sweet. It was.
said, yeah.
There was no. He,
and now that won't be a story that goes out on our social.
It could
That's
totally
for
be
you
a
guys.
story.
It's okay. It just it
It'll
meant a
make-
lot to me personally. and
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
obviously. It's
Really
sick.
quick, Koi, what's going on with this robot?
That's Cal-X, I assume.
Who's
It
Cal-X?
looks like it's in the Fortress of Solitude. There's your clip out. It's Cal-X! It appears to be in the Fortress of Solitude. The idea that maybe Lex Luthor is, has invaded and broken in. Clearly, this is an important fixture of his life. Someone that helped his upbringing, and maybe a parallel to Jor-El, maybe speaking through Cal-X. I don't know how they're going to have the hologram stuff, but it does look like.
Oh, you think?
He
I
looks
don't know.
So
Like he looks so
heartbroken.
connected. Like
Yeah.
maybe
He's
that's his
so
connection to
heartbroken.
Krypton.
Yeah.
So
that's
maybe his
true.
connection to Krypton is through this robot, and this feels like the loss of that connection, as they do in very important stories. But I really think the Fortress of Solitude and Cal-X are going to represent his Kryptonian heritage. And if we know anything about James Gunn, he loves found family and groups of underdogs rallying together stories. So I could easily see the looking through his Kryptonian heritage as a way into understanding his alienness, and this could all be very vital to that.
So true.
Cal-X!
I'd love to hear it, Koi. That's very impressive what you just did.
Thanks. I earned that clip out.
You did.
Thanks.
KP Kev the
Hour
Poet
in,
says,
roughly.
Koi, I am loving how you represent comic book nerds across media.
Thank you.
Please explain to me how there's a Kryptonian superpower dog in the comic book lore.
The comic. Do you want the comic? I'm confused. There is in canon Krypto. Like he's been around since the golden age of comic
I think
books.
they're saying, how is he have superpowers in the comic books? Like, how did he get his superpowers in the comic books?
He's an alien dog. Like he's not. He's not
It's the
of
same
here.
rules as Superman,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like he is of the planet where the sun would give him powers in the same way. Similar genetic structure. Like Clark looks like a human. He looks like a dog. But
Maybe they're asking how he got here.
I assume he's gonna have gotten here on his ship. I assume it's going to be, kind of similar
On
to
Cal's ship.
Yeah, because I don't think we're going to have Millie Alcock in the whole movie. I think she's going to be discovered. I think she is going to have the origin of being on the asteroid for some time. So I think it's going to be in this canon on Clark's ship just for easier storytelling.
Have they announced that this is going to be a trilogy?
No.
I think you got to have the first one come out. And
But
see
I-
it.
Yeah,
But
I'm
I
just curious
assume-
because they have cast her, and if she's not in till the very end, my assumption would be that they have big plans for her. in
She's
the
got a movie
future.
coming out.
I just mean like in the future
Oh, yeah,
of
yeah.
Superman.
I mean, she's the
movies that
second
she would
movie,
be.
right? Like that's huge.
Yeah, that is huge.
Like Supergirl, Woman of
Huge.
Tomorrow is June 2026.
Huge.
So like it.
June.
So
wow, yeah.
it literally goes July Superman and then June, like less than a year later, Supergirl.
But
so,
you don't think they have intentions for her to be in Superman 2?
I
I really want to see the two of them interact more. We haven't gotten to see that as much as I want to on in the TV shows.
I really think in the second one they should have it be Batman versus Superman.
we should rush to Justice League as fast
okay,
as
but
possible.
what do you
Put
think?
Wonder
Do you
Woman
want
in
to
it.
see them interact more or no?
Supergirl?
Yes.
Yes, but
But
I
not
don't
yet?
think it should be the first way because then it kind of undermines both of them if you have it be it kind of like Batman. Supergirl's her own character in so many unique ways that feels different than Clark. And then if you care about her and you care about him, their differences will make them both more interesting.
I guess you're right. Then it's better to have the Supergirl movie come out first before we see them interact more.
Yeah.
It's something that I've been wanting for a really long time. I think that their like cousinly love relationship is so powerful, and I really want to see the two of them work together.
I also
But
think
we're
you
not
need
there
to,
yet, and that's fair.
and you want to grow her character out so she doesn't feel just like I'm intentionally different than Clark. Because her origin of nature nurture, like he was nurtured by the Kents, she was raised by being trapped in an asteroid. She's got the nature element, so you don't want her brusqueness to feel off-putting without knowing where she came from. Just like why she mean to Clark or why she feels so different than him.
So you think we're gonna find her pod in this?
Maybe a post-credit scene.
Doubt it. I really do. Tawfiq
Wait,
Shaikh.
wait, for real?
Yeah, I totally doubt we're gonna. I think they're gonna keep it really focused on.
Wait, so
Supes-
you don't think so how do you think she's going to get featured if you don't think they're going to find her?
I don't think she's gonna get featured in this one.
You don't think she's going to be in it?
Uh-uh.
She's announced in the movie
She's in this one for sure.
on IMDb.
I don't trust that.
People add that.
I
I
don't
don't
trust
know.
that.
I think post credit maybe.
Tafik Shaikh says, so it's classic Marvel versus classic DC, July 2025.
Fantastic Four and Superman both being out within 2 weeks of each other is awesome. These are 60s icon characters. Retro futurism out for days.
There's so much more at stake though with Superman than there is Fantastic Four. There's gonna be a bunch more Marvel coming.
I completely disagree with you
Of what?
that there's more at stake with Superman than Fantastic Four. I think there's so much at stake with both of them.
I think no. Oh gosh, wait. No, we could go to war on this
On
one.
today's movie fights.
We go to war on this one. Superman is the launch of a universe. There's been so much controversy of like this has to justify completely canning Zack Snyder's universe, completely canning Henry Cavill. This has to get people interested in the universe when it's already like having a hard time rebounding from all the residuals from what came before it. Whereas Fantastic Four is just one Marvel. It's an important Marvel movie, but it's one movie sandwiched in between other ones that are already coming out.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
they are banking on Fantastic Four for their future. They can't just keep holding on only to the Avengers. Like, I do agree that Superman is massively important right
think
now.
it's more important.
Okay.
Higher important.
I think that they both are holding
You
so
think they're
much weight.
equally
But
important?
I do think what's interesting is there's a lot of people who think that Fantastic Four financially is going to outperform Superman, and I really, really disagree on
I
that.
don't think
Even like
Yeah.
51-49.
I think Superman is comfortably going to outperform Fantastic Four.
And I don't want to put this kind of pressure on it, but I can't picture a world in which this movie is good and it doesn't make $1 billion. Everybody's been waiting for this.
Sure.
I agree with that.
Maybe.
And like, I mean, this conversation.
Yeah,
I-
if this movie fails, it could be like the doom of the DC universe. Whereas like Fantastic Four
is
it
a
wouldn't-
bad
wouldn't-
handicapping,
would-
like
but
a
it-
kneecapping.
But I don't think it would like
end it.
end it. Yeah, like
Yeah.
they just had $1 billion movie. You know.
The only reason that I see what you're saying is because of what they're about to be doing with the X-Men. But they really need Fantastic Four to work. They desperately need it, and they've never had Fantastic Four work. So,
Yeah, and they also need like the
disagree.
word good of mouth around Marvel. Like that is key.
yeah.
Marco Tunstill. Roxy, people are being so kind to you in the comments today. How does it feel? How does it feel?
You saw one person who says I'm.
I've
pretty?
seen a lot of comments saying how I like
And
how
she got up at
happy they are you're
4:30.
here, your looks, everything, the whole thing, beyond just your looks.
I
Mainly
stopped
you.
looking because the only comment I saw said, "Roxy, take your shirt off," and then I stopped looking at the chat a while ago because I didn't want to be with them.
What do you expect? You're
Better?
you're a woman on the internet.
Yeah.
Let's go back
That
to
is
Marco.
how. This is what we champion. Do you want me to block them? I'll block them for you.
It was
Yeah.
so long ago.
I will
mean,
find it.
Let's spend the next 10
Marco
minutes.
Tunstill. What aspects of Superman's character do you think the reader highlights best, and how do you? What? The reader highlights?
How did you think the reader?
And how do you think the tone compares to other versions of Superman?
Trailer. I think it was supposed to be trailer.
I think what's really great about this one is it's the first Superman debut that really feels like he's existing within a world that is fantastical. Like Metropolis feels like a personality. It feels like a character in and of itself. Where usually when you get Superman, he is the only one in a world full of just regular human beings before we get other characters introduced that are a little bit more of the mystical or fantastical or supernatural, whatever word you want to apply to it. This is the first time where he is like he is another piece to this big world of fantastical characters.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. And I think we'll be getting all these other like it actually feels like you're in like season 2 of a Superman show in a way. What they're doing here. It's not just another introduction. We know the origins, we know all that crap. This time around it looks like I like the idea that you're just walking into it where he's already been established, because that type of vibe I think presents something totally different than we would ever get in any of the other live action Superman. Superman Returns just felt like a riff on
It was
Christopher
Superman
Reeve.
4 in a way.
Yeah.
Or 5 or whatever they considered it, because they didn't consider one of them canon.
And then Man of Steel was, edgy, dark Superman, which I really liked, but I know didn't vibe with a lot of people.
I feel like the aspect is this is such a strange sounding sentence, but the aspect that it highlighted best was him being a hero.
Yeah, it's a heroic trailer. I
Yeah,
agree.
the fact that when we see that little boy hold the a Superman flag and he says Superman.
I love that I'm now a DC Shield.
Chloe, Roxy was talking, you jerk.
I was still listening, and she was talking. I have been good. I've been multitasking. Have I interrupted you once in a way that you felt I wasn't listening?
No.
Thank you.
Oh, what? He gets to interrupt you right now?
Have I
don't-
not responded to
and then
each and every
suddenly-
time? Have I not been
interrupted,
able
and
to
you're
be
just
like, and you were saying,
whoa. Wow. This
Greg,
is
you
a
have missed
biased,
the whole conversation.
biased Bostonian bullshit, and it's because I'm ethnic.
that 018 zip code
throw
coming
that
in
in there.
clutch?
It's definitely
throw that
because-
in there.
It's because of that for
Yep,
sure.
Throw
being
that in
town.
We
there.
talked about this beforehand, and we were like, we need to,
Team Coxie.
Team Cox.
You're gonna have to deal with it, Greg.
When we see that the Superman, he says Superman and the flag, we know that Superman's established, at least by that point in the movie, in this universe, as a beacon of hope, and that when you are at your darkest hour, because it looks like they're amidst a war, and he has nowhere to turn, and he doesn't believe he's going to be able to make it. The one thing he does in the way that people turn to God is he turns to Superman. Superman is what he says, up to the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see what looks like on the newscast later him talking, and we think that Superman did come and save. So that's the hero aspect of this. And I think that in past iterations, people we haven't always had superhero first. One thing, just particularly from me, that I haven't appreciated in the past is when Superman could do something and doesn't do something. And I think that that's not to sound like every person on the internet, but that's not my Superman. My Superman is a hero when he can help, he does help. And so watching this in a universe full of people who are like, please come save us, that's so cool. And the Superman that I grew up with.
I also think the great flaw of Superman is how he tries to be everywhere and he knows he can't.
Right.
And I want to see that more. And I feel like the global scale of this looks like that. Like, I agree with what you're saying with like the sign and the looking up. And I think that's some of the arrogance that Lex hates, is people perceiving him as that. And like he knows he'll never be that.
And creating obstacles, I'm
I-
sure Lex is going to create obstacles to show, you can't be everywhere at once.
Yeah.
You can't do it all. That's why it's about when he can help, he does, but he can't always.
I think what this movie is going to capture is a bit of the Spider-Man struggle that Peter Parker has, where he's trying to balance being Clark and Superman when, yes, he's got a job, he's got to pay his bills and all that, but his real job is being Superman. And that's a big part of what that I don't feel like any of us talked about, is that this really looks like he's having a hard time at just keeping up with the job.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
discombobulated in
Yeah.
that one shot for sure, Greg.
Like
for
that's
sure.
that's why I like that shot. Not like a dejected, he doesn't like being Superman, but
It's a day at the
what I
office, like a blue collar.
I like the idea of him having a heart, because that was something in like BVS that I'm not like. I like BVS, the extended cut, quite a bit. I do think they did kind of miss some of that though, in terms of the exhaustion, and that's what's cool is you're seeing some of the public really turning against him. He's trying to keep up with the job, so I like that one. Still, the release where he's just putting on his boot. There's chaos going on. He's just like, fuck, man. Okay, I just gotta keep it going. I just gotta keep going. Like,
I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It reminds me, Greg, it's like it's about doing the right thing, not because you're getting the right reaction, but because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that is Superman.
Yeah.
Whether the people are against him or not, whether Lex or Maxwell Lord or whoever are able to turn people against him, you do the right thing because it's the right thing, not for the praise, not for the press.
Yeah.
And yeah, oh my God, man, I really feel like this is gonna be the greatest movie ever, and I really have to chill out.
I'm so excited.
Dude. Okay. Before you do go, when you
Yeah.
do have to go, we have to answer Mike Joyce's question.
What is it?
Who annoys you more? Who playfully annoys you more, Greg or Jet? I think she enjoys Jet more.
I can't stand Jet more often because he like really gets on. That's my brother, for the people who don't know. But Greg annoys me more. Yeah.
Wow, that hurts. Someone once told me that when I was a little boy, and that has haunted me.
I adore you both.
His name was Joe Eric Mercado.
What that really
He could
haunts you?
suck a nut. C Black says, I'm not sure this movie beats Fantastic Four in July after this trailer. Oh, but we haven't seen the Fantastic Four trailer, so how do we know?
Can
Yeah,
you
I think we're
command-
7 months out.
Can you Command F my name?
Why? Oh, to make sure we get all yours
I
in
just
there?
don't want to leave somebody who, if they
Sure,
ask me
sure.
a question,
Okay.
I feel bad.
C Black. Okay, can we remember that, someone?
C
C
Black.
Black F4 July.
Before we
C
go,
Black.
okay, yeah. Before we go back, we want to make sure to refresh this. I want to make sure we get all of Roxy's questions in here. So,
I doubt anybody specifically asked me something, but just in case. I just wanna
Roxy,
make sure.
please don't be that way.
Okay.
There you go. That one person did. Roxy, you mean the culturally? Chris O saying, Roxy, you mean the culturally worn out and generic forehead touch between Clark and Lois wouldn't be enough passion for
We
you?
love each other. Our foreheads have touched.
It's really not, and I think it's important if you are a kid watching this movie, like it's okay to express love physically.
That's how pets express love to each other.
Head boops.
They do. Mm-hmm.
That's all we need.
That's
is
why you
nice
pet a cat. and
PG
such a-
head boop.
In these
Lois
moments,
is
we
his
see them.
pet.
In these moments, we see them like they're intimate. It's not like they're in a room full of people. They're sitting at dinner with people, and they just start making out. Like these are their personal moments.
And if he wanted to, he could pleasure her super fast and no one even noticed.
What?
That's what I wanted in my Superman movie. Just does it. She's
Greg,
like,
I'm
I thought we
concerned.
were.
Do you know it's not about speed?
I thought it's about how quick can you get this over with.
Okay.
That's love.
That's why when my wife just says that, I'm always like satisfied.
That's that sound.
Scared.
Aren't you glad we searched your name? Aren't you glad that led to this
Scared.
this moment? Here we are.
What else is
That's the.
Hey, Greg Cohen, Roxy, do you think they will reveal Mongol as the secret villain of this movie? It might be Warlord attacking Earth, and it might explain how Superman got injured in the trailer.
I think Mongol's a great choice for a villain. I don't know if it's a good first villain. There's so much history with the chains and the different planets, and Mongol being someone who there's a lot of lore with rebirth and immortality and stuff that I don't know if it works for a first film. But I am curious who is strong enough, and that's fun about a teaser. 7 months out is we don't know who put him in the snow. So
I don't know that we're gonna have a secret villain.
could just be Lex.
Lex has a lot of henchmen in this. They announced several different people that are going to be in this movie. That are like Eve Tessmacher is going to be in this movie. Otis is in this
Otis.
movie. So I don't know that we need
Batman.
a secret villain, especially because we don't know what the Kaiju's role in this is. We don't know Maxwell Lord, what he's capable of in this. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I don't know that we need somebody else.
And I would assume it's not Mongol
Well-
or someone of that level of lore.
James Gunn did say that this is a movie where I think he thinks people will actually be like, wow, I could see how Lex could take down Superman.
Yeah, I think ultimately Lex is the big bad. Whether he's the one that puts Superman as the snow is a question I have.
I think it has to be. Samir says, guys, your Superman outfit is fire, especially Roxy.
Let's go.
You hear that, Roxy?
Between-
Compliments.
Yes.
People like you. Okay?
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I'm like, how do I respond to the? Yeah, that's true.
All right, these are old. Now we're just way in the past. We did it, Roxy. We answered all the specific
So
ones about you.
Look at that compliment on the way out. What a nice last message.
What is the message that we said? What was the name? Did you
Mike
remember?
Joyce.
No.
No,
Oh,
it
you
was
son of a
black,
bitch.
C black.
I don't know. I don't think that's correct.
It was C, the letter, and then black.
Well, I typed C Volk.
C black.
I'm
That's not
telling you,
gonna
it's not
find you
coming up.
much. C Volk might be spelled wrong.
Type the letter C,
And
B
black.
L A. Yeah.
There it is.
You're right. There it is.
You want to know how I thought about it? Because you guys, you made a joke before about not seeing color, and
And this person does
and he sees black.
specifically.
Well, Roxy does have to leave, and I know that will cut our viewership down by
least 2/3.
20
You guys are
people.
gonna get so many more people.
But I think
No, the last thing, Roxy looks super good. You know,
Yeah, no, it is about how I look, and
not
it isn't
about your opinion
my mind.
or
yeah.
any of the knowledge you have about comic books.
Oh
Yeah,
my
but
gosh.
I do appreciate it because it's nice to get a compliment.
you know what's
By the
weird
way-
is when people talk about my looks.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank you, thank God, finally.
Yeah,
And when people just talk about my mind, my brilliant comedy,
yeah.
I'm just like, ah,
Let
I'm
me
so
speak
used to
before I
that.
leave. I
No, I'm just joking.
I was
I'm
actively
joking.
listening.
I'm joking.
He won't come out.
I'm joking.
God damn it, Greg. I don't get the opportunity to talk about DC as much as I used to and love to. And I'm really excited to enter this new era. When I started hosting DC Movie News, it was before Man of Steel even came out. We did a show for a year and a half without a single DC movie. And I think that this is the coolest time that we've ever been alive to be a DC fan. It's the most excited I have been since I was a little kid and slept with a Superman doll every single night that was this big. Growing up, Superman was my favorite character. And then at some point, I kind of did that thing that most people do, which is they switch over to Batman because cooler or whatever. But Superman had my heart as a kid, and I have so much hope for this film and for the planet. And movies like this, I do believe, have the ability to change the world and bring us all together. So great job with the trailer to the team. And thanks for letting me crash your guys' party because I wasn't supposed to be
No,
here.
man, I was genuinely really happy you could be here because I'm always like struggling with this, and so I'm always focused. And I also wanted to say,
Yeah, who would
Roxy
you have
Anderson.
talked to if I wasn't here? Holy crap.
We're
It
just
just-
playing with lights
Yeah.
and moving pictures. But
So-
Roxy did DC Movie News when I was doing Marvel Movie News, and it was always so nice that we don't see the Bloods Crips Bowl of
No.
DC Marvel. So whenever I could, I did DC because I love these characters, and I've never had the opportunity to talk about them as openly because a certain contingent in the internet is not someone I feel like dealing with. Like the juice was never worth the squeeze. Like I don't feel like putting myself out there to deal with those people. But now that a movie's being made where these characters feel like how I see these characters,
Yeah.
it's really cool that we get to reunite, and like you and I are going to get to do what we used to do every so often, but much more often. Because when
Yeah.
we did DC, it was a blast. Every year we did Christmas parties.
Even like I can't wait until we're at a bar and what
Just
we
talking
want to
about
talk
this.
about is Superman. It's just really, really exciting. And even though I love comic book movies in general and stuff. What's up?
Hey, what a perfect last one.
Listen, Lord of the Rings I thought was three of the greatest movies I've ever seen in my life. So I can't even be bothered with the people that didn't like me. But in terms of this, but DC is where my heart is over all the other franchises, over every franchise ever. I'm a DC girl. And I don't have the same kind of comic book knowledge that Coy does. Nobody does. But I've watched every single one of the live action shows. I love Harley Quinn, the animated series. Obviously, watched Batman, the animated series growing up, like all of those things. And seeing these characters that I grew up loving. And of course, I have read so many comic books as well, but just not like Coy. Seeing them on the big screen, it's like being a kid in a candy shop. And I never thought we'd be at a place when I was a kid that this would be like, we have all of this. We're spoiled. So
The spinner
it's very
rack. What a
cool.
joy.
and
Yeah.
last thing, happy birthday, Tara.
Yes,
It's your
happy
Happy
birthday today.
birthday, Tara! She
She's
here?
having a hard time.
Yeah,
Oh my
she-
God, it's Superman trailer is partially blocked.
What the crap?
Oh God, I told you. This is what I mean. This is why I didn't want to do it
Wait,
live.
Greg, don't do what you're about to do because I don't think she said that to.
What? I
just-
need to handle this copyright
No,
claim.
not that, the tear thing.
Oh,
Coy, talk.
I'll talk about
I'll stay
Superman.
with you for a
Oh, thank
second.
you. I was about to be like, well, I guess I'll just read everything.
These
Yeah, happy birthday to
bastards.
Tara. She's a delight. Let's do some random.
Yeah, for
let's
sure,
just
for
whatever's
sure.
next.
So
Not
C
sure if
Black,
the
we
movie beats
read-
F4 in July after this trailer. I disagree. I think this trailer is inspiring a lot of hope in all senses of the word, including people that might not have been on board. There are people that will not like this movie, and there are people that will, but I think this one of the things James Gunn said that I really liked was he recut this trailer a few times for himself to find what he felt was the tone of the film. He didn't want this to be a trailer that was showing certain scenes. He didn't want this to be a trailer to sell anything. He wanted it to be the tone of the film. The whole goal for him was, what does the film feel like? And this is 2 minutes of what the film feels like.
Right.
So I love that as a way to look at a teaser. And also, if you're not in for that, then it's probably not for you, and that's okay. It's for me.
It makes perfect sense. Remember, the first thing that I said after the reaction was I loved how little dialogue there was in this, and I just loved how much of a feeling it was. Like, for just to sound like the most millennial I've ever sounded in my life, this trailer was an absolute vibe. Like, it really did paint a picture of what the energy is going into this, and it feels larger than life. It feels special. It feels like you want to be a part
Yeah.
of something. It feels exciting. It feels hopeful. It did not feel like, and that's why not to push back on Greg saying the opening was dark, because I totally get why he said it, but it did not feel dark and gritty. It felt light and airy and DC-like. And even though there was opposing forces, Superman felt light.
I agree, and in the sense that it is like we talked about for hope, but it didn't feel gritty. It felt like a moment of Rocky. Like, yeah, it's not how hard you hit; it's how hard you get hit to get back up. Like
Yeah.
that doesn't feel dark to me. That feels like inspiring. And I got that vibe. But yeah, I mean, not every movie's going to be for everybody, but I personally am very excited for this. I work on Genesis, so much more not revealed.
Thank you, Nintendo Game Dude.
That is very excited. I am a Sega guy. I love Sega Genesis. Guys, your Superman outfit is fire, especially Roxy.
We read that one, but thank you, Samir, again.
Got to make sure we get
Yeah.
it out there. I was expecting Metamorpho to look more like a CGI monster guy. I'm surprised by what they went with. Yeah, the two things that happened to me.
Raccoon shampoo.
I had two weird moments where I was so overwhelmed by the trailer, I forgot there was dialogue at the beginning. So I did my trailer thoughts, and I was like, in a completely silent trailer, the only thing that's spoken is a whistle in the score. I literally was so overwhelmed by the visuals, I forgot the words like home, Krypto, home were said.
Oh, yeah.
And like half my comments are like, this guy's such a shill. He didn't even watch the trailer. He's just making stuff
Oh,
up.
my God.
My comments are repugnant, but that's the internet. That said, I love that I was so overwhelmed by stuff that I didn't catch things the first time. I didn't frame by frame it, so I didn't catch Metamorpho because it's literally like 2 frames. And you guys pointed out very loudly the purple shoulder. I didn't expect Metamorpho to look like that. I'm really curious what he looks like in movement because I
Yeah,
feel
me
like he's a
too.
character that's going to be ever evolving and changing, and probably related to Simon Stagg because he's a geneticist that invented Metamorpho.
I'm really curious what he looks like moving his face. I know you're speaking about his body, but the way that
Metamorpho's
was
body, Anthony Carrigan's body. He's yoked.
I
Sorry.
love him.
These freaking copyright company, they just plan for it. They're like, there's like a snippet of a little section. There's like 1 second in there, and they were like, "Oh, we own your whole video, and we're also gonna block you in a few countries right now." They
you
know
fix
it's
it?
coming. I mean, I'm disputing it. I'm fighting it. It's just such.
Are
such
you back
assholes.
with Koi
Oh,
though?
that's awful.
Yeah, I'm back with Koi. Thank you, Roxy. You're
Thank
so
you.
sweet. I'm really happy to be here. Thank you so much, Roxy.
I thought it was sarcasm and it,
It
turned
was- it was
sincere.
so
it
weird.
started
He-
sardonic
he-
and then he
he
dropped.
looked at me and realized it wasn't the time for sarcasm.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Let me pivot
That's not true.
he pivoted mid sentence. You
not
guys
true.
saw
mid
it.
word."
That's not
We have
true.
it on. That's your reel. That's your
Guys,
cutout.
You guys saw it.
Label that
Guys,
3 second short CEO
guys,
Greg.
You saw what I did to Aaron in the live stream. I'm not
CEO
above.
Greg.
Hey guys, Roxy has to go.
Remember when
Joke. It was a joke.
I found out who Aaron was seeing in concert? Now I forgive him.
Roxy has to leave.
I'm such a monster that once I figured out who he was seeing, I'm like, sometimes people get left in cars.
Roxy has to go now, guys.
Yeah, do you know who Dochi is?
Yeah, of course I loved it.
I didn't know that's who he was seeing in concert.
It's okay.
I
Yeah,
forgive
I
him
know.
now. Sorry, girl in car. Dochi.
It's okay. Thanks, Roxy.
Hours at
You're so sweet.
105 degrees.
Okay, I mean, I was being
Goodbye.
sarcastic, Roxy. I don't think that's acceptable. Please don't
Aaron's
take
my
that as your
buddy, it
last.
was a joke.
Don't take that as the last
Aaron's
message.
my buddy. He's all of our buddies. I love everybody here. No joke. Okay, bye.
Maybe.
Except this man. That's sarcastic. Yeah. I mean, we'll see.
Bye, Roxy. Say hi to your grandparents for me.
Have good breakfast now that
Have a good
our
breakfast.
day's half over.
Are you guys gonna have a bagel?
Let me get that. Oh, you want earrings and your phones?
What are you gonna have?
Things?
Eggs? Kosher eggs? Kosher eggs?
Mhm. Okay. Need my
we
crypto
will,
plush
we
ASAP
will adjust the seats properly.
in just a moment.
Yeah, I get into copyright 5.
Yeah,
I
he was.
freaking hate that.
Yeah, that's true.
shit.
Actually, it was probably sarcasm because he was mad at copyright, and then it was taken out
I
on Roxy,
told
and she's like, "Not in my
everyone.
house."
I told everyone. I told on the community post. I said like, "Oh, I was going to do." It's weird. It's like Warner Bros. Invites us to the event and everything, so they want us to cover the trailer too.
Literally.
Anyway,
Judge.
Raccoon shampoo. I was expecting. Did you read this already?
Yes.
Sorry, Raccoon
And
shampoo.
we both are curious. You're curious about his face. I'm curious about his body. That's where we left off.
Okay. Minok Ranavari. Hey, Greg, Coy, and Roxy. Oh wait, we already asked that.
Yeah.
God damn it. That copyright claim's throwing me off so much. Shad Vizsla. Roxy, take care. You did great today, and I really appreciate you being here last minute. Thank you.
I'm very impressed you got up at 4:30 and looked like a human because I was not.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all the compliments I'm going to take as not misogyny, but compliments of earliness.
See you, dear. Shad Vizsla says, I'm so excited for the movie. It looks right off the comic page. I wish I didn't have to see so many people hate on it or thrashing James Gunn or even other fans just for wanting hopeful and positive Superman. Well, Coy, while you yawn,
Yes.
you please answer this question. I'm going to readjust the camera.
Yeah, because I think we're out of focus now.
Yeah.
I think, I think sometimes the block stands for hope. That's going to be my message for the foreseeable future. I think that there are people that you don't need in your life, and I think the internet is most of them. If you're excited for the movie, be excited for the movie. I think that, there's billions and billions of people. If 1% of humanity agrees with you, then that's millions and millions of people. And that's
Even
enough.
if there's a 1%.
That's exactly. And so embrace the 1%. That's how I've been seeing social media lately. If I can get like 1% of the people that I'm like-minded with to follow or share in my experience, that's millions of people. That's enough people. There are so many people that you just don't need to deal with. There are so many people that are not worth your time. There's so many people doing it for attention. There's so many people being contrarian. There's so many people that actually don't like it, and as is their right. But how you talk about not liking something is different. different than not liking something. So I'm personally excited. Find other people that are excited like you, and those other people are the reason we need this movie, because hope is what we need more than cynicism, and we need light over darkness, and there's a reason that heroes inspire hope, not vengeance. Like, that's the point of the Batman. Like, we need to grow out of this dark time we're in, because we are certainly in one.
Dude, I completely agree with all your points. I just need to check this really quick.
Yep, Greg is listening to my
I
inspiring
am
speech
a
about hope.
hardcore listener.
The block stands for hope.
I'm known to be the listen boy
That's
around
the
here.
Greg
But
Listen Boy Elm is
they're
what we
always
call
like,
him.
Greg just never stops listening.
Man,
That's-
he's just sitting there and he's like, oh.
I just keep forgetting about this part.
the Streamlabs.
Yeah, we got them. Jandro versus Trolls, Dawn of Justice. Justice.
Okay, so our first one, Wong Player. What a fun name. What I love about the Clark Kent look is that he's awkward and kind of nerdy looking, like coy. But when he suits up, he just slicks that hair and owns that Superman energy. That's very Christopher Reeve energy.
Very much.
That documentary really points that out. That one specific scene they highlight
Oh,
where
the
he just
back's
takes off the
written
like. It's such a body language moment, and I do think it's weird. Is in real life he comes across way more like Superman.
Yeah, day to day. He
Because
carries
when we,
himself very.
when we talk to him, he does just seem like a farm boy, like a really
It's
nice
so-
Midwestern dude.
He is
doesn't
so
he?
kind and gentle and lovely. He accidentally bumped into someone when we were talking, and I got to see Clark Kent just like, oh, so sorry.
Yeah.
Like it was said, he's like some mild-mannered fellow.
There was everyone was just okay. So at these events, now, here's what they do for like these marketing things now. I usually skip them, but I was like, it's Superman. Why not? Let's go to this one. So what they usually do is they have something that they play, and then there's a Q&A, and then they have like the mingle session where you just get to hang out with them. So it's like you're in like a lobby or something, and you get to go up and talk to them, but it still feels like a bit of like a con type of vibe where, okay, there's James Gunn, there's Superman, there's Lois, there's Lex, and everyone's just kind of gathered waiting to talk to them individually on the floor, right? And the thing that I noticed, especially with David Corenswet, is whenever someone had anything to say, anything like the smallest thing to say, he would elaborate and go into big conversation, even if they weren't asking a question.
Yeah.
He would just go off.
He's
and talk
also
to
very
them,
good at
and
opening up circles.
make eye contact, and he was really big about acknowledging everyone around
He
him.
made everyone feel welcome, not like there was a line of people.
Him and Rachel Brosnahan, both.
Yeah, both of them.
I think were exceptionally kind, and I've been to enough of these to be like, I see how a lot of this goes down, and you can see a lot of them are just kind of trying to do the pleasant thing that they're supposed to do, but he really seemed invested in everyone who was there.
And Holt had to run, and he still was making time to like. It was really sweet because a lot of people like were talking about other properties because Nicholas Holt's in a ton of things
Yeah.
right now, like Nosferatu and stuff. And it was really sweet. He'd be like, oh, blah blah blah, and then he'd like pivot it, but he'd be really like attentive to the people. But he had to leave, so that his energy was always like, but I want to make time, and like it was really
Yeah.
cool to see him be that guy. And then David Corenswet and Rachel Brosnahan were very much like holding court circles, but very like welcomingly, not like but more like let's have a conversation. It was very like fireside chat.
I loved it.
They were incredible.
Very,
and,
very sweet.
yeah, I David Corenswet, literally when I said like, hey man, DC Studio Showcase comic book correspondent, he's like, oh, that's why you look familiar. We're gonna be talking so many comics. And then he started like joking about comics, and then at the end, we took a picture, and he had his arm like around my shoulder, and then he looked down. He's like, no, dude, world's finest. And then we went back to back and literally posed like Batman and Superman. So I've got a picture of us, but he said, bro, world's finest. And I was like, this man read. Like, I was so happy. Like, I got to hear Superman tell me to be Batman. Like, it was such a cool moment. And then, yeah, me and James talking about comics was like such a life moment because that dude sees comics how I do.
Yeah.
And we both just started yelling and jumping. Like, it was like two kids on a playground being like, and then they would fight. And like, it was a circle of journalists that have been asking all these serious questions. I get into the position to be able to actually like connect. And then all of a sudden we're like, oh my God, is this? And I think all of the publicists were like, what do we do about this? Like, there was a moment of like, what's happening? So it was a really special thing for me to connect to the people I've been working with.
Yep, Coy's really privileged.
I was sharing a story you started, Gregory.
It's okay. It's just different when you do it.
You know, I read 70 comics a week to get this
Love you
position.
guys
I'm going to
so
celebrate it.
It's just like, are you guys into this year finally? Greg and the She-Jacks are great, and everyone really?
What?
This trailer made me tear
What are you
up.
reading?
Superman stan, comic shows and movies. My most anticipated 2025. I have faith in the plot.
Okay. I don't know what the affectation is there, but
That's how I imagine they're saying it.
oh, I see.
Yeah.
Love you guys so much. I got into you guys this year finally, and Greg and the Sheets are great.
I'm very much looking forward to this. You know what, David Corenswet, that was the thing I talked to him about, was the thing I just talked about on social media. Like, it was the thing that stood out to me the most during the Q&A, and then I saw that, of course, people were running with it on, like, outlets talking about it. I'm like, yeah, absolutely, you should run away with this, is the moment in the Q&A where he said that, what was it? James Gunn we were going through the costume designs, and James Gunn was like, I don't know, this suit looks a little too bright. This looks too bright. And David Corenswet said something to the effect of, yeah, James, of course it is. It has to be because he doesn't want to scare the children.
He's an alien from outer space with superpowers. He doesn't want to scare children.
Yeah, I thought, and what really stood out to me the most was, okay, yeah, that it was the actor who said this, not the writer and director. You kind of would expect
he's so certain of the character.
And then on top of that, for the writer and director to roll with that and have his decision be influenced based off of what the actor's saying, was like, it showed me collaboration. It showed me that David Corenswet really understands who this character is on a level that maybe other Supermen maybe not have gotten before. That was the thing that truly cemented me on why I trust this guy.
And that's what all three of them said during the Q&A, was the collaboration was what they were excited about as actors.
Ronan Unchained. Yo, Greg Coy Roxy. I have the stupidest grin for the past 2.5 hours. Best compliment I give the trailer is I want to buy some comics and watch Superman, the Tasmanian Devil, Jennifer Lopez's
animated
United
series, Justice League United.
Kid holding the flag. Lois. Great day to be a DC fan. It is a beautiful trailer, and you know, I see that there are some shots that do. There's one shot in particular, Mr. Terrific, that looks straight out of the finale of The Flash, and this is the same cinematographer of The Flash, but there's a lot about the look to The Flash that I actually did like, and I know that's a movie that people love to clown on. We weren't like the biggest fans of the movie, but I think there's a lot in terms of aesthetic and look that I feel like are visually appealing, and I feel like with James Gunn behind this, not just as the writer-director, but he's also the dude who runs the studio of DC Studios. I think it's going to be more visually appealing than The Flash by a long shot. That's just my opinion, Coy. Do you share my same opinion?
I share your opinion, Greg. I was letting you talk for a moment.
Please validate
me.
Validate
your thoughts.
I am very thirsty. I only had one meal yesterday.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay, well, we're doing too much.
It's been really busy. I have to leave to New York in a week.
So I told you today, I'm like, do I post 4 videos today, Greg? My page is usually a 1-video page. I'm like, do I post 4? I get it. I'm so tired.
Yeah, it's been...
this whirlwind leading up to the holidays. And you and I have the craziest weekend ahead of us.
We do.
Strapping in.
They actually gave this sweater to us at the event. And I was like, good, don't sell this.
Just for us.
Wow, we got a lot more to go through.
We should go fast.
Okay, you know what I'm going to do? Guys, if you want to get in some super chats, which we really do appreciate, of course.
Yes.
You might want to do it now because in a couple minutes I'm going to cut them off. I'm going to stop. I'm going to disable them to allow to be submitted, I would say. But we will continue to read all of them for sure.
Yes.
Right, Coy?
All of them.
Thanks, Coy. Thanks, man.
All of them.
Real podcast. What a great birthday present to get a Superman trailer. Just want to send you all some love and celebrate this day. Thanks, Real Podcast.
You can't take that name. It's already taken.
Damn.
Real Podcasts.
No, we're Thrills and Shills.
I know we are, but it's funny that there's someone talking to us.
Coy and our new
Thrills
podcast.
and Shills launching January 2025.
It's not even exactly reflective of the tone we're going for. But
so what we're going to do is so earnest and sweet. I love that you and I are like, what if we do a nice conversation and we name it the opposite?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what we...
Is there piss in jars?
In Batman vs. Superman?
No, there's no references to piss in jars.
Yeah. No, I think we should... I like that name. It's going to be fun. Launching January. When's my episode drop?
Oh, shit. I can't figure out titles.
For my episode?
Yeah.
We talked about a lot of stuff.
I know. It's just so hard to get clicks.
Coy Jandro.
Guys, if I put up the episode with Coy where I interviewed him on Diary of a Real Reject, can you just tell me a title?
Yeah. Crowdsource it, Greg.
I'm going to list it like 10,000 people watch it.
You guys tell me what you would call it.
Suggest titles because I'm not good at the titles on this.
I talked about A Knight's Tale a lot. I feel like Coy Jandro. A Knight's Tale.
Well, I'll just use that 5 seconds you talked about Robert Downey Jr. as Doom as the headline.
Oh, people will love it. Coy Jandro, change your stars.
I like Peacemaker a lot. Captain Fernandez, moment of silence. Thank you so much, Captain Fernandez. Marco Tunstall, I think you are generously donated money to us. Thank you. I think I have an elementary knowledge of Superman. Coy, do you have comics to read before the movie comes out? Okay, outside of All-Star Superman,
And Superman for All Seasons.
yes.
And Alan Moore's Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow.
Yes.
I would also recommend you check out, for Mr. Terrific, I would say Strange Adventures is a great little side mission.
That's cool.
I would say for Guy Gardner, I really enjoyed, he's a supporting character, but he's going to be a supporting character in this, so it's good to have impact in smaller amounts of pages
You want some
to
water?
get a sense of that, please. I would check out Human Target, which is also one of the prettiest. I'd say Human Target is one of the most beautiful looking comics I've ever read in my life, and it came out like 2 years ago, and it's great Guy Gardner stuff as a supporting character. I would say for Lex Luthor, I talked to Nicholas Hoult about Lex Luthor Man of Steel and Lex Luthor the unauthorized biography. So those are your recommendations outside of just Superman. I feel like that'll give you more context if that helps. Thank you, Greg.
That is so cool. Coy.
Yeah.
I loved everything he says.
Uh-huh.
Coy interviews Greg. Wouldn't you know?
He interviewed me.
I
but
think
I
the
should
horror
interview
movie
Greg. That'd be
reaction
funny.
would kind of get completely overshadowed today.
Yeah.
Although, what time is it?
10 a.m.
I feel like it would get overshadowed, honestly.
Superman's kind of popular.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah, Volume 1 Human Target, Volume 2 today, James.
I'll make a decision in a couple of minutes.
Also, Hayden was in here earlier. He got 600 subscribers today. Congratulations, Hayden. I know he's been hustling.
Congratulations. Robert Pursuer, hope you all are having a great day. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. That's so kind of you. Hey, Cole, you want to open that door?
Yeah.
We just leave that door open.
It's been so hot and
It's
Rocky's
just
so
so hot.
cold.
My glasses are literally just sweating up. That's why we installed the door, just so we can open it when we're live streaming and when we're freaking boiling hot in here. Yeah.
So hot. All right, how's that? There we go.
I don't feel like any of these superheroes are big enough to overshadow Superman.
No. Guy Gardner's not even like a top 3 Green Lantern.
And that is something. Sometimes I feel like
Dante, that sounds
the
sexual.
other universe will have a take Captain America: Brave New World. What a lot of people are mainly looking forward to Red Hulk when it comes to that movie. Not saying everyone, I'm saying, but it seems like that seems to be the big conversation of what they're really looking forward to in that film. And sometimes Marvel will like have a title, but then, hey, you know what you're really looking forward to is this other character.
Yeah, you set up a movie just for that post-credits scene.
Yeah, and it works for them. That's really good. However, that's what's cool about this trailer to me is like while there's all these other characters here, the
Very
big takeaway
Superman.
is still you're talking about Superman. You're not talking about these other people as much.
A lot of people are liking Greg dives into the koi pond, but only my fiance can dive into the koi pond.
Oh, dude, totally.
You heard me.
Mark Ratunstall, unrelated. I realized I was saying hyperbolic wrong my entire life watching Koizu video. I've said hyperbolic. You know what Koi says a lot? Monosyllabic.
Yeah, I think monosyllabic and polysyllabic are important words.
What do they mean?
Monosyllabic is when you use words like g, d, like single sounds are the cadence of your speech pattern. Very simple-minded, very like linear. Like minded is literally polysyllabic because it's 2 syllables, but simple is polysyllabic. But good, great, yes, like monosyllabic. Polysyllabic is anything more than 2 syllables and preferably like extending outwards. So growing your
Cool.
vernacular polysyllabically has a way of like growing the way you think of words as well as the words you use.
I thought you just like to look at pictures.
Shiny ones!
I thought you like to just look at pictures. Be like, look at them punching each other.
Look at the pretty ones!
That's too much words. What are you, Alan Moore? Captain Fernandez. Thank you, Captain Fernandez. Wow, that's such like the nerdiest thing I could have ever said to you. What are you fucking?
What are you, Alan
Who are you,
Moore?
Alan
That was actually
Moore?
a good pull. Oh, he's a guy that knows words. He's smart. He comic smart.
And
Greg-
dichotomy and duality.
Yeah, that's what we should name the show. Dichotomy and duality. It actually is closer
Actually,
to
it's
what the
pretty
show
cool,
is
actually.
about. We
Dichotomy
actually
and
talk about
duality.
that.
Yeah.
Not SEO friendly, but it's more accurate to the show.
Um,
Greg and Coy talk about how good each other look.
thank you guys. Thanks for sending that 10th live super chat. I'm
It's
gonna
a Zoolander
I'm
podcast.
going to disable them from allowing to become new ones to be coming in because we gotta make sure we get through the rest of these. Gosh, should I make? I don't know if I should make it live. Is it kind of weird to make a video live while we are live? Like publish a video? You know what I mean?
What video? The horror one?
Yeah, they did.
Can't
They did the Nun.
Can't imagine it would do good if we're getting live while live. I don't know.
I don't know. This is the part of the YouTube game that gets
Oh,
confusing.
that's a great. Ethan Jones is with the. That's why I was asking you. Like, is it better to go, guys? I'm gonna do it live later today, but I also have a video about me talking
But
with
to
all the
make
actors.
a video public while we're
whilst
live
live.
is a little strange.
Because you only get 3 notification bells, right?
You only get 3, but a lot of our views don't come from notification bells. They mainly come
Ah.
from like
Search.
and recommendations.
That's why I was wondering if I should post the actor video today, but by 5 o'clock, I feel like everybody's gonna be sleeping.
True. One sec, guys. I'm sorry.
Guys in the chat, should I post a video today about talking to the different actors
They're
in our
gonna-
conversations,
they're
or
forced
should I
gonna say
post it
yes.
in the or should I post it first thing in the morning so you guys get another surge of Superman content? Because I'm gonna do it live later. I'm gonna go live at like 1, and have like comic book conversations about this week's comics at 1. So I wouldn't post the conversation with the actors video till 5 because I need to edit it. Would you do it in the morning or would you do it tonight? Let me know in the chat.
We are paying attention.
People want the nun. Self-gaze with Craig and Cole.
I don't know if it's just gonna fuck it up or not. We are losing. I mean, all that work on the Superman trailer is kind of going out the window because of, Actually, the live stream is really helping because of this.
It's driving
this
people back
This
to...
copyright claim and block that we got on this trailer.
Is it still blocked?
Yeah, it's still partially
Oh,
blocked.
dude, that is
There's nothing we can do
insane.
about it. It's going to be that way. I think you can still view it in the U.S., which is our main market. So that's good.
That's crazy.
I mean, maybe I should just make the Nun live.
You doing it? You guys are watching behind the scenes. This is how the sausage is made, everybody.
Fucking John. Let's see here.
Is he sleeping?
Captain Fernandez, enjoyed the teaser, but I'm a little disappointed by the look. A film of this scope and importance demanded a Hoyt Fraser Deakins tier director of photography. Did it? Did it really?
I mean, I love those names. I'm a huge fan of all those DPs, but I don't think this
They're
looks
not
bad.
the only DPs.
I don't think they look bad.
I get what you're saying. Like,
I would
don't
love-
get them exactly, but get it onto that scale. But I feel like it looks really good. Like, did you watch the trailer in 4K? I feel like it looks really good.
Yeah.
I think the look
did.
is awesome.
It's equal parts post tonight and post tomorrow. Also, We've Got Muscles, the podcast.
Yeah. No, Man of Steel's very like gritty and handheld and definitely darker in its colors. This movie, I would not say it looks like Man of Steel in its cinematography. Man of Steel is a very like fucking shaky cam.
It's of the time. It's very
like,
much
what if
15 years
Superman
ago.
was real?
And
you
right
know?
here next to you,
Yeah. I don't think it's the same look at all. But hey, that's you're allowed to feel you feel and appreciate you still supporting us, even if we have a difference of opinion. It's kind of hard to
That's
find.
magic.
Gwen D is saying, I believe Lex.
I believe Lex creates beings to fight superheroes, which leads riots throughout the destruction. Ultraman battles Superman in an arena. Heroes might die. Superman is captured. Maybe introduce Supergirl.
What do you think about that, Coy?
I think we talked
John
earlier about maybe
time.
Kellex being, something that happens because of Lex. We talked about that briefly earlier. I think Ultraman, if he's in it, that's a possibility of that situation. I think that Superman being captured seems likely by that punching shot. There was someone I saw, like, their biggest complaint was, like, I hate that Superman, like, punches a window. Like, why would he be so mad? I think he's in a cage. Like, I think he's encased, not, like, punching a window. But I do think that is a possibility, and maybe that is how we meet Supergirl. That'd be interesting. Scroll while you yell at John.
I'm just sorry, man. I was like, hey, man, look, you don't have to wake up at 5 in the morning. Can you just have your phone on call in case I need you for something, man? And now he's not picking up. And everyone's like, oh, you're the best thing ever, John.
If Krypto
And
dies
I'm
and
like,
Superman,
you know what? But you don't know about like this shit.
I will
And
riot.
they're like, oh wow, Greg, some boss, you are just putting him down when he's not around to defend himself. I'm like, well, that's the only time to put him down because he
Yeah.
can't defend himself.
Yeah.
That's how you win.
The next live's gonna be all
That's
John
how you
defending himself.
win.
Yeah. If Sweet Krypto dies and Superman, I will riot. Robert Preuster says.
My plan is to turn everyone here against each other.
Yeah. For the company.
I can't wait to react to Craven.
We need a shirt that says for the company, just for us. It's not for anybody. It's for us. For the company. We did
If
that one.
Sweet Crypto oh, you did that.
See, Greg's so focused.
I'm sorry. Between copyright claims, having to handle the nun, and now I have to handle the poster of that. And
Thought you were
handle,
gonna say
like,
handle
there's
John,
kind of a
and
lot
then you
going
said
on.
nun,
and I'm
and it
also
was
trying
so
to
funny.
trying to also
Handle the
John.
nun. I picture John in nunnery garb, just like nunning around. Nunning. I love the trailer. Superman is my favorite, but I didn't really like Guardians 3 and the Squad. but I love the first Third Guardians movie, so a little nervous, but I have hope. And hope is what Superman is all about. You're about 50-50 on the last 4 James Gunn joints. I personally am huge on Guardians 3. I think it might have overtaken 1 for me. And I personally love the Suicide Squad, but I respect that you are open and have hope, even though those weren't your cuppa. So respect this take, Wiley OFC, and appreciate the super chat. And I'm glad you're going in open-minded. That's all we can do. When we see something, we assess like whether it's for us or not, then we engage not based on others' opinions, but on our own. That's what I can do.
See if this is prepped. Hold on, Koi.
All right.
I got you. Hold on.
I can't see anything. There we go.
There you go.
I also want to thank you for being a positive space for fandoms. You guys and Blind Wave
Who's
are
saying it though? We want to.
I was going to say at the end,
Their
thank you
name?
to Shad Vizsla.
Oh
I
my
was gonna,
God, Koi,
I'm doing
but that,
it.
But that isn't how I would do it.
Yeah,
so
but
that's why
it's like
I
they
have to
signed it
correct
like
you.
a letter. It's like they signed it like a letter.
That's not my
well,
style.
Greg's method is going on the side burner while he does 82 tasks. I also want to thank you. I also want to, I did say day, but he meant to say. I also want to say thank you for being a positive space for fandoms. You guys in Blind Wave are where I can enjoy without being harassed or judged. That is what I love about good corners of the internet. It is very interesting that
Blind Wave
as
are great
soon
people.
as nerds became jocks, as soon as comic stuff became popular, we became the Flash Thompsons. Don't be a Flash Thompson. The whole point of this world is to find acceptance. Look at most comic book stories. It's about finding your people, finding acceptance, finding your family, finding your place where you belong. To make others feel like they don't belong is inherently diametrically opposed to the messages you claim to espouse, and therefore you are worthless. And you mean nothing. Thank you,
Jesus
Shad.
Christ.
There's your clip out, Roxy.
That's the podcast.
There's your clip out.
I have posted the nun. The nun is posted.
These are my thoughts. This is how I see it. None is up and posted.
on Patreon.
Click it, like it.
Oh my God.
Thank you. Subscribe to my page for whenever I post that video.
Oh Jesus.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that little rant. Thank you
Blind
for
Waves are
mine.
good people. I had to hit up Eric. I want to talk to Eric Whitley. I want to do a collaboration with him. All right, here we go.
Yep, your
Ethan
turn.
Jones. Cavill and Whedon's Jill is the most Superman he's ever been on screen, outside of the Man from U.N.C.L.E. Specifically, the Steppenwolf fight, the colors, the jokes, the teamwork. It was perfect. I still felt like he was.
He was a bit less edgy, but it was still not now to I see Superman, but it was closer. I don't think the Whedon film is strong, but I think that there are elements in it. The Flash moment feels very Superman to me.
I loved. What was it, the race?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was.
Oh, yeah,
talking
yeah,
about. I was
that-
like that race moment.
that
I thought
feels like
was great.
Superman.
That felt like straight out of like a Saturday morning.
It's like
cartoon.
a fun Justice League moment, like to me.
That was a weird experience, that the Joss Whedon movie, because I liked
So many disparate parts.
when I first watched it. I was like, I see that it's like clunky as hell, but I think it's a really fun time. It's a great Saturday morning cartoon. And then when I watched Zack Snyder's Justice League, and then when I went back to it, I was like, I kind of hate this movie. It's like such a strange thing.
Yeah, it's
I'm
really
like,
because
I
it's so many different
suddenly
pieces.
like really don't like this movie at all. I think this is a terrible experience.
It highlights how messy it is,
Yes.
but also the pieces. There's there are really cool puzzle pieces in that movie, but the puzzle itself is a mess.
Yeah. Man, if we can get all of us from Real Rejects and all of us on Blind Wave on the same
20 person.
camera.
Can it be like
There's
a?
the
Brady
we rent
Bunch?
an auditorium just
Yeah,
to
the
make this
Bra-
work?
Dude, are we ever doing lives with people? I want to do giant 20-person lives.
I want to do it like Tony Robbins style, where we're zooming in on.
What if we have a little microphone, just
thousands of
walk around?
stadiums, yeah.
Just like, hey, the thing about nerds is you
I'm
gotta
gonna
be
make
nice
you
to
cry.
each other. And if you're not nice to each other, you're not a good nerd. Like that.
Christopher Williams. My favorite part is seeing Krypto the Superdoggo. Oh, I agree.
Yeah, Crypto's great.
I think I got pressured into making it on live when I shouldn't have done
No,
it.
I don't think you should have, but you went and you did it.
I
I
got
was trying to
pressured.
tell you not to.
Well, I was like, shit, man. It's like everything's getting kind of screwed over with
Superman.
There's a problem when you're running a channel.
Yeah.
They're like, but other thing on the trailer is not going to. It doesn't matter anymore. So it's like there might be a way to recoup
I
some
thought
of this.
you didn't. You can get the money back later. I thought it was just like
Maybe
that's crazy.
it depends.
Okay, well, clearly it's a second. So if they look at it and be like, "Well, this is fine,"
I don't know what I've done
I don't know what you've done. Well, then
because then the next day is the day after Christmas.
it's the
Next Thursday, I mean.
Oh, I'm like, Greg, it's like
Next
barely.
Thursday. My mind is working faster than my words. to
Your
keep up with
it's also working faster than your calendar because it is not next Christmas. Is a
But
week
my
away.
mind heard the actual extent of the
Yeah.
sentence before
Wouldn't
I
the
said
none
it.
the day after Christmas be perfect because religious people? Isn't that the
Oh,
thing?
shit.
Right?
No. It's like a fucking horror. Well, no. That's Squid Game Day.
Oh, so you had to get it up today. So don't feel bad.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be over. Okay,
Yeah,
It's
you
always-
had to get
it's
it up today.
always gonna
You
be over.
literally
it's
had to get it up
literally
today.
Going to be
there
overshadowed.
is no
regardless.
time to release
Yeah,
it.
it's gonna be overshadowed.
People that want to watch
regardless.
The Nun are going to watch
Yeah.
The Nun, and you're not going to get a new audience
Yeah,
the rest of this month.
Exactly.
Had to
yeah.
go up today. Feel
Yeah,
better?
It had to. Yeah.
There was no other time.
Because the Squid Game and What If
Are
and
gonna be-
Creature Commandos.
Dude, there's no-
all on next Thursday.
Also, What If
so,
is
yeah.
the same day as a bunch of stuff stacked.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you wouldn't want the notification bell issue.
So yeah, it makes.
The Nun's the only time
It
now.
actually made most sense to make it live today.
And there it is.
I'm glad we talked this through, guys.
This is good.
This
This
is a
is-
great live stream.
This is how business goes.
Can't stay long, but I'm going to send you guys some love.
Thank you.
It's been a rough few weeks for my family. This channel never fails to brighten my day. Oh, were you having channel upload problems too?
Yep, that's what they were talking
Oh,
about.
yeah, I
His
get
whole,
you, Doe Eyes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Doe Eyes,
Yeah, I
sincerely,
understand.
sorry about your family.
I understand.
In jest, I hope their channels get the fulfillment they need. But I hope your family's on the upswing, and I'm sorry that you've been dealing with that. I'm glad we can brighten your
It sucks when it's a tough family time.
holidays.
Yeah, I think it's tough when it's holiday time. Especially, and I'm one of those people who gets the winter blues. It's been a real problem for me. Like actually, weirdly, staying super busy kind of helps it out. I'm just in a state of anxiety instead of
I'm
depression.
losing my mind, Greg.
Yeah,
I have so much to do today, and I have so much to do tomorrow,
Just
and I have so much to do Saturday.
Yeah.
I looked at my reaction to Superman, like the trailer videos, and my eyes are so bloodshot. I look like I'm on drugs, like,
Yeah.
but not fun drugs. I look like a junkie. Like I'm
Yeah.
so tired, I look unwell, and that's just work. I am so tired.
Yet,
Here we are.
I was hearing something on the Michael Rosenbaum podcast about that, where so much of the time people who are quote unquote in the entertainment work,
Yeah.
especially on camera people, whether it be actors or hosts like us, is people from the outside looking in are always like, oh, this must be like the most fun thing ever. And it is, it should be. And there's something that happens with perspective as the person in front of the camera where it gets thwarted in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and that's one of the actual biggest disciplines you got to have is preserving
The joy
perspective on how you're going about it, you know. So
and preserving the experience of the
Yeah,
audience
yeah,
because
'cause-
they need to experience the joy. Otherwise, I don't want you guys to experience my exhausted misery. I want you guys to be happy about stuff. So, like, if I'm
Yeah.
exhausted, miserable, I have to keep it behind my cold, dead eyes in my reviews.
well,
You only see through the souls of my dead eyes. If you look deep enough, you see me crying. But on the surface, joy.
but that's a lot of times the anxiety actually just comes from the lead up of having to handle it. But usually when we're in the middle of doing it, I'm enjoying
Oh, I'm so
it.
distracted.
Yeah, I'm enjoying.
it's a
I'm
snowball
enjoying it.
rolling down a hill.
It's really like a lot of the lead up around it or the after, but the actual filming is when you're doing it. It's fun.
Yeah, I completely agree. These 2
yeah.
hours, I'll be great. As soon as I leave here, I'm going to be a puddle. I love
Yeah, 'cause
Rosenbaum.
it's like, oh my god,
What
we
do I have? The
I
17
was-
things
I
left.
was literally like looking. I made a list yesterday, and I was and I have to leave for the honeymoon on the 26th, 27th, and you know, of course, there's Christmas Eve and Christmas Day as well. It's like you got to have a little bit of time off. And I was like, oh my god, there's 27 more thumbnails I need to make. I was like, and I'm making a thumbnail. You see how like these are like today's thumbnails are not great because they're rush jobs, but. Thinking about that, I was like, oh my god, even though I have assistants on here, it still can usually take me like quite a while to just make one.
Yeah, I've got
but-
15 to make, and I've never made that many in a
And I'm
row.
like, that's just one main task. I gotta
Right.
do.
Also SEOing and all
Yeah.
the like. Yeah,
That's
no,
like 27 hours of
I'm so
just
scared,
fucking
dude.
thumbnails I gotta do.
So I'm doing my last live today of the year. I just have to
Yeah.
start work. Yeah, I get you.
I'm really hoping Aldous Hodge returns as Hawkman. Ethan Jones. Yeah.
I love Alice Hodge, man. He's
Yeah.
great. Such a fan of that dude.
I don't know, man. The Man of Steel trailer 2 was pretty dope. I mean, it's like, Dad, am I still your son? And then Kevin Costner from Yellowstone turns to him and says,
From Yellowstone.
Seven says,
Oh, yeah,
of
it's Kevin
course you're my
Costner's in
son,
it.
and hugs him. And the fucking music in Man of Steel is kind of really hard to beat. I think that gets very overlooked in Man of Steel. Is everyone always goes to the John Williams score, which of course is John Williams? Oh my
Yeah,
god, I'm so
John
bad.
Williams.
John Williams, amazing score, a classic pinnacle of Superman. But the music in Man of Steel, I think, is phenomenal, and it's really hard to come close to matching John Williams, and I find that really, I can work out to the music of Man of Steel. That's Hans Zimmer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful, beautiful music, and it still feels like heroic and Superman and inspiring, so I really love it a lot. And the drums and shit, oh, God, so cool. All right, shut up, Coy. Adita Tripathi, I absolutely love Man of Steel, and I think Henry Cavill was born to play Superman. But with that said, I'm excited to see James Gunn's take on this, and I would end this saying respect the past, embrace the future. Totally.
Yep, Man of Steel doesn't go away when this movie comes out. You can still watch Man of Steel.
He will come back in a desperate multiversal movie when they need to get butts back in the seats and they think cameos from nostalgic past will work.
This has never happened before.
Man of Steel.
Unprecedented
DC
idea.
has never done it
What
either.
Greg is describing is unprecedented.
He will be back, guys, and so will The Rock. The hierarchy will change.
I think that Henry Cavill was well cast but didn't get well used, and I think that he's the Andrew Garfield of DC, where it's like a shame. But you know, I'm excited for this new era, and I'm excited to see what's coming. And I really personally like that teaser trailer quite a bit, so I'm excited for some hope.
I really wish this wasn't partially blocked.
I don't understand. How's it doing? How are the views?
It's still doing. It's all right.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
doing
it's
well.
frustrating.
Can't complain.
The
Landon.
Supergirl's gonna be a film.
Ugh, Landon Miller. Do you hear my shoulder?
Stretch it out. Did you pop something?
Can you hear it? Can you
Oh yeah, a little crinkly.
So hyped to see Superman. Hey, Landon Miller, good to see you, buddy.
Hello.
Congrats as well to Coy and the team for the interview with Idris and Kiana. Hopefully, you guys can snag one with Jim Carrey. Oh my God, I think you and Jim Carrey would be an excellent. And sincerely, I think you guys would be. I mean,
Not being sarcastic.
It would be a really good interview because I think you guys would be able to dip in and out of comedy really well. But he is a very like philosophical, existential kind of individual, and I totally feel like you guys would 1,000% click on that. And he's hard pressed to find an interviewer who can actually match that type of discussion.
Thank you.
Most people are like, you're weird now. What happened to you?
And I'd be like, give
you
me
used to be
this.
funny. Yeah.
I think his energy matches mine, and
Yeah.
I think that his mind is so well tuned to conversation while also being completely an artist's mind.
Yeah.
And usually artists are not as good at expressing their idiosyncratic thoughts. So like his being a performer for most of his life and now being this existential ponderer, usually you get one or the other. So I think he's very unique in that he can deliver these concepts verbally. And I would love to go toe to toe with that conversationalist.
Mhm. I think you'd be really good at it.
I'd love that. Yeah, Paramount, I'm ready. Anytime. Send me Carrie.
So people have been asking about in the chat about the costume. We will use this question as an opportunity to do that. Because Kyle Young is saying if they get the Superman right, that will give me hope for getting accurate Nightwing look and characterization.
And booty.
I totally think they'll get a proper Nightwing down. I've heard so many James Gunn interviews lately, and I have so much faith in the DC universe. It's like insane amounts of faith in it because of his perspective and his ability to bring things to life. And I'm really interested to see how he is at just being a producer when it comes to something like Supergirl, you know, of him not that of having to find that boundary of not like, hey, let me just do this. let me just direct this or tell you what to do. But learning how to inspire and give some notes and feedback while still bringing out the best in the director.
Yeah.
It's a really hard line for a producer like him to ride, especially for someone who is so hands-on. To me, it seems like he didn't even originally want to direct Superman. He just wanted to write it, but it became a situation where it's like, no, I have to direct this.
Yeah, and something with his father like shifted in him, and I'm really like it
Yeah.
feels so personal, and I love that these movies should feel personal. If you're directing something, I love when a director is passionate about it, and if you find a personal connection beyond your fandom, and like James Gunn's one of the biggest comic fans alive, so if you
Yeah.
add like a personal connection to that, I think you're right. Like this DCU, I think we're entering an era of really, really great comic book movies again, and I think that them being about hope to kick off is something necessary. I think pop culture gets disregarded because of the word pop, but there's so much culture that informs how society feels, and I think we need more hope. I talked all about hope in my trailer thoughts, and I have so many comments of people saying I'm being hyperbolic and I'm being cheesy, and like, yeah, deal with it. Like I want the world to be better through art, and I think art should reflect the things that we need, and I think we need to move forward. We've dwelled long enough. Let's fix shit.
Absolutely. And I'm glad we talked about the costume, like I set us up
Oh
today.
yeah, the costume. I think an accurate Nightwing costume is one of the easier ones to translate to film.
Talking about Superman.
Yeah,
We haven't talked about the Superman costume.
we haven't. Looks great.
We nailed it. We did the talk.
That's what monosyllabic sounds like. Looks great.
Yeah.
I think that its vibrancy, like David Corenswet said through that James Gunn quote, is so important for comfortability. I think leaning into the Silver Age elements is going to make his eagerness more palatable. I think that leaning into the vibrancy of the world, there's a lot of sunlight, which not only mirrors, obviously, the vibrancy of the color palette, but also Superman. Like, warmth and power and energy, all of that is the beauty of this character. So I think it's the perfect suit for this world.
Yeah. Dude, I think it's I think the costume looks fine. Yes. Look, Zack Snyder, for his world of Man of Steel, I think it's perfect for that costume. But when it comes to this, I think it fits just right for what James Gunn is aiming to do with it, and especially with David Corenswet's quote. I feel like that just put things in a crystal clear perspective for me. Whatever, haters. I'm someone who likes it, Zack Snyder. Superman was a prayer.
We're just on defense.
Clayton Crook gave me goosebumps. That was the main part that brought emotion out of me. What scene for you guys? That was the scene that made me pretty emotional. I found myself getting a little emotional during that moment. What moment was that I remember seeing? Okay, it was like we were literally watching a moment in the trailer, and I said, "Ooh, nipple chills." There was a moment.
Oh,
that
yeah, I remember that.
That gave me goosebumps. Let me just scan the trailer really quick. Do you know what it is for you offhand?
Let's see. There was a really incredible the crane shot of the two of them, of Superman and Lois floating, really hit me hard. Where there's just like them, all the lighting, like there's always this glow, there's always this energy. I really, really love the Lex shot where it's like this almost fisheye lens because everything feels so enormous. Everything feels, like I said, like a kaiju doesn't feel out of place. It's more about the scope of the trailer than any one moment for me.
I think it was the moment where he has Krypto sniff his cape and is signaling him to take him back home.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just so connected to that moment as a lover of animals, as someone who gave up meat because of my love for animals, that I think that really just hits at a really deep level for me. That was a beautiful moment. And then Superman went home and cooked Krypto.
Yeah.
Ate Krypto.
As a fan of meat, Lex Luthor shots made me happy because I ate a lot of steak and cows and chickens.
Raccoon Shampoo, my only concern with a large cast is Gunn killing off other heroes as he's known to do. That is a legitimate concern.
I don't think everyone makes it, but I don't think...
I think Guy Gardner is killed off, for sure.
I think he could be because the Lanterns... Well, I mean, Lantern's a good place to bring him next.
And Superman's going to be the one to do it.
Yeah! Break his neck.
Yeah, snap his neck. Laser beam him down.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is a fair concern, but I also think that he is subverting expectations of this film, even in the trailer. Like, this isn't comedic. It is a different thing for James Gunn to do, so it could also be subverting expectations by not doing that trope of his.
Omar OVO, yo, what's good? I know this isn't very Superman-centric, but who would you guys want as Batman in the Gunn universe? A world's finest movie would be sick. I don't know if you're with me on the same page anymore. But
Josh Brolin
is my man. I saw another image of Josh Brolin just the other day. I'm like, God damn, he just looks like he could be the Dark Knight Returns. Yeah, that's.
I'm listening to his book right now.
Are you listening?
Did
he audiobook it himself?
Yeah, that's why I'm listening.
Okay.
I usually read, but if they writer audio
he's also got the voice.
Oh my God, what a voice!
He would be the perfect.
It's called From Under the Truck, dude. It's so good. You should check out his book.
really hope he's heavily considered for it.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
He would be perfect. And I think it's even when it comes to Batman, I feel like it's more acceptable or okay and makes a little bit more sense because he's like a Bruce Wayne as well, to cast someone who is already famous. Whereas Superman, you tend to cast someone who is not famous.
Yeah, and you surround them with a mix of, Nicholas Hoult being the most famous makes sense.
But I do think that Josh Brolin will be a perfect Batman.
Mm-hmm.
That is a real wish. More than Jensen Ackles.
And the Jensen Ackles is up there too, but yeah.
Jensen Ackles, I think, is like a BVS age, but Josh Brolin for like the older Batman.
Yeah.
Where you could believe like this gray-haired guy could
just whoop your butt.
Still whoop my ass.
Yeah.
I think he'd be perfect. Yeah, Roxy left. She didn't want a beer anymore.
She was like, I'm so sick of this.
She thought Coy's jokes were not funny.
Yep, exhausted.
Matt Thomas, the flying sequence is the arcade in Cleveland.
Oh, that's cool. I love that shot. That shot really hit me. And I love how much Cleveland is in this because that always felt Metropolis-y to me.
I saw a real argument going on Twitter.
Don't do that.
About, no, his hair would not be flying if he was moving that fast. And they're like, we talked about, he's going up against the wind. He's like, do you not understand how physics works? And I was like, these guys are really fighting.
Like I said, I think this might be the thing to get me off Twitter.
If they know
the physics
really
of his hair.
What would happen if a man could fly?
You know, there's things that should be kept on the playground. Like when you're a kid and you're having these arguments on the playground, great. If you're having a fun conversation, like a debate, like we do on like some talk shows, but if you're getting mad at people,
yeah,
find a hobby that
just
isn't
like
arguing
the
on the internet.
weirdest thing to pick a fight over.
Yeah.
Is that brief 1 second where it's on his back of him flying,
which looks like Top Gun-tastic.
Where you see the cape, where it looks like a locked off shot on him.
Looks so dope.
It looks like a GoPro on him.
Yeah,
it's a dope shot. We're
yeah.
like, hair would not be like that.
I do not enjoy this entire thing because of hair. Yeah, excited for that sequence. Excited for Cleveland.
Deadshot. Hey guys, I love this trailer so much. I wish Deadshot was coming back in it. This feels very comic book, and I am so excited. I think the idea of other heroes are that they're owned by a company, so Superman has to show them the way. Oh, you really think they're going to go like full boys on this?
I think Maxwell Lord owns something akin to like a Justice League International, and I think those characters are wearing like NASCAR branding representing him, and I think they go into Stag Industries to try to sabotage it. That's how Metamorpho comes into play, and I think that Lex Luthor, Stag Industries, and Maxwell Lord are in a three-way war that deals with genetic manipulation that leads to warfare and stuff in the world.
Sounds like James Gunn's becoming rather predictable then if you get all that right.
Sorry for reading comics, Greg.
You think that's what's going to happen? I feel like James Gunn is usually pretty unpredictable on how things are going to escalate and
I
play
think
out.
you're right that he's unpredictable, but if I'm making an assumption, that's my assumption.
Well, that sounds like a cliche way to go about it.
Well, we'll find out in July.
We
11th.
will when it outperforms Fantastic Four, according
I think
to you.
that's likely.
I don't think so. Fantastic Four is way more popular than Superman.
Couldn't even finish his joke. Couldn't
even
even look me in the eye and lie to my face.
Oh, God. But I really don't know which one's going to outperform what, because Superman has never broken $1 billion.
I think we need the Fantastic Four trailer. We're going to compare them.
I wonder if you adjust this 1978 Superman for inflation, I wonder if that
That's
breaks $1
probably
billion.
pretty crazy.
I wonder
close.
if it, I wonder
like
if it
that's
breaks $1 billion.
yeah.
Let's find that out.
All right,
I'm going to do it right now.
let's do math. James Diesel, Krypto's
We
going to
don't
take
need-
him
We
home,
don't need to do math. We could just
and he'll
ask
wake
AI,
up at
artificial
Lois's. Or you know how
intelligence.
much I love it. We're about to kill so many fish by asking this question on AI. We're going to drain many ponds instead of just doing a calculator. Let's make sure to end the planet. Greg won't eat meat, but he'll destroy the planet with AI. Here he goes.
You'll destroy the planet with your meat eating.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, it evens out.
All right. Well, this is like more than 10 cows that I'm eating right here. Let's
Sure.
find out.
Sure.
Let's see what it is.
Sure. 1.34 billion is what it would be.
Yeah.
Thank you, AI. That saved us a lot of time.
I mean, it's almost like we could have done a calculator or even
Saves
used
a lot
our
of,
brains.
That saved a lot of
But
time.
instead, we had to
I think
kill-
that saved us a lot of time.
Got to kill the planet
I think that saved us a lot of time.
real quick.
This is a lot of
Kryptos, take him home! And he'll wake up at Lois's or the farm somewhere he doesn't expect. Legacy. Yeah, Superman Legacy as a title was originally to reflect his legacy, like everything that led to that moment. Like his history on Smallville and Krypton, all those things leading to that. But I do understand the perception of like why is a first movie called Legacy. So I think it was smart to drop the Legacy. But what you're saying about Legacy, I think is ties in right here.
I think that'd be a good like third movie after
Yeah,
you get like a bunch of in between movies of other things.
like Batman or Superman. Or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's next. Obviously.
So that's what my question in the Q&A was going to be.
So next up,
When's he going to fight Batman?
is Wonder Woman going to show up as well? We've hit the slap happy portion of the live stream where I lose my mind.
Will Doomsday be in this? Roxy, we read this.
Oh, we did. The cultural forehead.
O'Dial Jones. We've talked about the Guy Gardner.
Many
one.
times.
Some people think we ignore the chat. When
No.
I'm like, no, we just talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
And we have to pick our battles here.
Correct. And he does, Alex. I agree.
O'Dial Jones. Agree with Coy. More super romance. Seeing Clark Lois in this makes me want to see DC handle their other iconic couples. Batcat, Barda Miracle.
The chemistry with Zoe and Pattinson's pretty great. I would love to see some more of that, as well as the DCU Batcat. I think.
Kyle, I watched you through these binoculars.
That's the thing, Josh Brolin too. He could bring that.
Oh man, his voice already
He's
gravelly.
got that gravel, but he also bring that charm as Bruce
Yeah,
Wayne.
dude, his book, him reading it is so like.
There's like Selena, sit on my lap.
Why was he John Wayne?
Be a good kitty over here, and why don't you sit on
Now
my
he's
lap?
Patrick Warburton doing John Wayne. Why is Kronk watching westerns?
Okay, in order for me to do John Wayne, I gotta aim for Josh Brolin. In order for me to hit, in order for me to,
That's how you land
in order for me to
somewhere.
hit Patrick Warburton, I gotta aim for John Wayne.
Yep, we're at that point in the stream. Yeah, and I want, as you guys know, Mr. Miracle is one of my favorite comics of all time. Barda and Miracle would make me very
I
happy.
just want a super sexist Batman.
Yeah.
Top Red Riot. Real Rejects was my #1 listened to podcast on YouTube at over 900 hours. Wow. Yeah, we get a random
That's
amount
crazy.
of people like screenshotting the podcast. A lot of people listen to like our podcast playlist.
As audio? That's awesome.
Well, it's like our playlist we convert to podcast, and then yeah, apparently
That's a lot of hours, dude.
It's a lot of hours, and I appreciate you doing
That's
that.
like
it really helps out.
30 days.
Why don't we ask ChatGPT?
No, I did it. I did the math.
I don't think so.
It's 38 days.
you sure about that?
Okay, 24 hours.
Like ChatGPT would answer this right away.
24. So 900 hours. 240 hours is 10 days. 720 hours is 30 days. 900 hours is less than another 10 days. So it's like in between. Also, they
I
said
could have used that time to do something more.
the real
productive.
JB said, "Sorry, just tuning in. Apology, if we were harsh, but yeah, we
Oh,
talked about Guy
sorry.
Gardner at the top.
And Batman should be sexist.
Yeah.
Ismael
Said at the
Montoya.
top too.
Hey guys, Merry Christmas to everyone. I have a question. What comics do you see relevant to read for the Superman movie? This is the first live stream that I can recall that have been so many comic recommendation
happy.
requests. We never get these.
This makes me
Normally, I'm just like,
Oh, he's talking about
Coy
comics.
finally got his wish. That
Look
no
at this
one
corner
wants to
for
hear
me
about.
to talk about comics. I said already the Superman for All Seasons, All-Star Superman, and What Happened to the Man of Tomorrow. I then added for Guy Gardner. I would suggest Human Target for Lex Luthor, The Unauthorized Biography, and Lex Luthor, Man of Steel. For who else did I talk about earlier? It's been a long stream, and we got up at 5 a.m. But I'm going to add to that now that we've gone through those.
Don't complain.
Superman Up in the Sky is pretty great.
Do you have anywhere to be?
Yeah, I have so much to do.
No way, they let the copyright claim go?
Yeah!
Oh my god.
Greg's back in the game. Superman Up in the Sky. I would also say
all those people who just subscribed from the Superman trailer are like, oh, they just uploaded The Nun.
I love superhero movies. The Nun.
This is a weird algorithm.
And they can
I'm going to unsubscribe from
They
this
come into the
channel.
live stream, see us talking bullshit,
Yeah,
and they're like,
about-
"What is this
about our
channel?"
the own show.
Yeah, as we're talking about the Nun and our show that doesn't exist yet. Quality content we're bringing
God.
in.
I didn't eat yesterday just so I could fit into this shirt. I want everyone to know that it's a real thing.
They had one meal all day.
It's a real thing. Just
One meal all
shaking
day.
some cashews.
Let this man applaud
Because I was
him.
like, I'm going to get no sleep, and I didn't. I got like 2 hours.
All of the compliments you gave Roxy, give to Greg now because he didn't eat for you. He did that for you.
Yeah.
For you. I was adding Superman Up in the Sky. I would also add Superman, the John Byrne era. John Byrne illustrated and wrote Superman for a time, and that feels very much in this vein. And final recommendation, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, just because it will be a tone that the universe takes on going forward in like some looseness with the cosmic elements. And we know we're getting that as a direct adaptation. That's like 12 different recs now. We've added 3 each time. That should get you going.
What I'm really hoping for is that we can end this stream with reacting to Tyrone Magnus's reaction.
Oh, let's do it. Bring it in.
Nick Alexander.
Any Mr. Terrific recommendations? I gave those earlier with Strange Adventures. Sorry.
Yeah,
go.
he looked it up on Google.
You've
Used
seen my hands this whole time.
Gemini AI to do it.
Yep, I definitely love it. The AI.
That trailer is everything. So in line with the DC comics that I read growing up. Zack Snyder universe has its place, but it never fully felt like the characters I read. Love this new DCEU. You know what's exciting about this trailer that I don't feel like anyone has really given it credit? I don't feel like anyone has been like, and now this is the first time I'm having this thought, actually. I'm having a thought, Coy.
A new one?
A new thought.
What do you
I
got?
thought I was out.
New thoughts. Not done yet.
Was-
Brain's cooking.
Was normally when you see a James Gunn thingamajig, you're like, this looks so James Gunn. And I didn't have that thought of like, this looks so James Gunn, which is good.
And comedic, like tone and visual.
Yeah, maybe the movie will feel that way, but I think for your first impression, that's really strong to do that.
Yeah, and he stressed that he wanted the trailer to feel like, or the teaser to feel like the movie.
Because
So
you don't want it to just be James Gunn's universe and for everyone to step in and try to be James Gunn.
right.
You want people to be able to do their own thing, and that's the thing with Zack Snyder's universe, which really speaks to a lot of people, but it does feel like this is Zack Snyder's. Same thing I would say with like Nolan.
It's a universe
like
tone.
this feels like Christopher Nolan movie. You know,
I agree.
this looks like a lot of Nolan has a very similar aesthetic and editing style and everything with a lot of his films. And this, to me, I wasn't like, oh, this feels like James Gunn.
And that's the cool thing about like movies are a lot like comics, where it's a writer and an artist on a thing, and it might identify with how you see the character or not. There are comic runs I don't see the character that way. I love Spider-Man. Zeb Wells has been writing Spider-Man, or had been writing Spider-Man for like 4 years. I collect Spider-Man, so I was buying comics I wasn't enjoying because it's not how I saw Spider-Man. But I wasn't mad at Zeb Wells. He just sees the character different than me. That's how I feel with a lot of movies. I'm like, I respect you making art. It's just not my tempo.
Do you think J. Jonah Jameson's going to be in this?
Yeah, oh for sure.
Oh,
He's
thank
gonna
God.
he's gonna just cold cock Perry.
It's funny how, as I was gearing up to make that joke,
You're like, let me make sure he's not.
no, as I was gearing up to make that joke, you said that's not quite my tempo.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
J.K. Simmons' own
Yeah.
multi-universe. It's his world. We're all just living in it.
You seen I Love You, Man?
I love that movie.
It's my best friend,
It's my best friend.
Hank Mardukis. Robbie's my best friend, and Hank Mardukis.
Dude, J.K. Simmons won an Oscar and had the next commercial break be him the voice of Eminem's for the
really?
Peanut. And I've
Oh, that's
always
funny.
thought of that man's range being accept Oscar, watch commercial with him as an Eminem. Like, that's how I think of J.K.
It's
Simmons.
the only reason I would watch Red One.
I love that man. Oh, dude, Red One's so good. It's my big defense of the year. I loved
Oh
Red
my
One.
God,
I loved
really?
Red One. I legit laughed so loud in that theater, I'm embarrassed.
I know people who I know the guy who did all the makeup for.
I
it.
loved Red
And
One. The
so-
makeup's amazing.
Yeah,
It's incredible. I legit tweeted, I know my movie to Hill to Die on for 2024. It's Red One. Like, Red One is my.
Really?
No one else liked it. I loved it. It is dealing with old lore that deals with, like, the Krampus stuff that built up to our modern myths. It is The Rock playing The Rock as he does, but in a perfect setting and, like, the right level of self-aware. Chris Evans is basically Johnny Storm again. It deals with, like, really fun takes on mythology. It's like Jingle All the Way meets Santa Claus, like the Santa Claus of Tim Allen. It's a fun movie. I had a great time with it. In defense of Red One. Saw it in theaters.
You just like everything, don't you? Including Craven the Hunter.
I was like, I have like 10 reviews of movies I don't like on my page right now, Greg. Right now.
You should just make a playlist.
Movies I don't
really
like.
shine a light on this.
You know what I
Just
love?
to
Hating
shut people
artists
up.
making art. I just make a playlist.
Yeah. Krypto looks like a good boy. Hope he saved the day.
Well, see
I
if
think
he's a
he's
good
gonna have a
boy.
massive hero moment. I think he's gonna have like a stellar, major hero moment. I feel like he's gonna do some shit where you're like, oh god, Krypto might die in this movie,
Yeah, that'd be
but then he doesn't.
harrowing.
Because that would suck if he died. If he died, I'd be pissed.
People
Damn.
liking Red One, a couple of them.
Apparently, Red One is like one of Amazon's most streamed movies
50
ever.
million.
And then apparently Red, notice?
49 million. People just like the,
Rock
word
is always winning, baby.
red. People like typing in red.
Look, he's always fucking winning.
And then the
man.
movie Red and Red 2 also doing well on Amazon.
God, that looks so awful.
Bruce
to me.
Willis is Red and Red 2 and Red Notice and Red 1.
Mum-Ra, please finish CW Superman Lois on the channel. Maybe. It's a big maybe.
I've never seen it.
Wasn't really getting traction when we were doing it here, even though it was a great show. But maybe. Maybe. But thank you for the support and the curiosity and the intrigue to want to do that. But internally, I'm blaming you for my anxiety
Not watching. Yeah,
now.
thanks.
Amenophasis I think Brainiac is the big bad.
I think the big bad is Lex. I think Brainiac might be teased or introduced in some way, but I don't think he's the overarching villain. I love Brainiac. I think we need Brainiac. I just don't think it's for this one. I made videos about how I thought it was Brainiac before.
Who
I
should
think
be Brainiac? Who should play him? I got my picks.
Who you got?
Al Pacino.
Adam Scott.
Mine's way more popular.
Wait, am I saying the right person?
Adam Scott.
Not the guy from the comedy. Fuck, what's his name?
He's gonna be
Moriarty.
Adam Levine.
Moriarty from
Jared
Sherlock.
Harris.
No, the other one. I love Jared Harris though. He'd be good. Who's the fucking Chat, who played Moriarty?
Oh, I know perfect the place where you ask that
Do not you Google it. It's just a Google away. God damn it. Moriarty, I think he'd be a great Brainiac. He was so good in All of Us Strangers.
Oh my god, dude! No, I still think Al Pacino would be better.
All right, just yelling like
Yeah.
about his Dunkachino drink. Brainiac, just talking about. I want to
Man
know.
of Steel.
Man of Steel. He's got a great cape.
Got a great cape.
Andrew Scott. I knew I was close. Andrew Scott be a great Brainiac.
Mark Strong would be okay.
Everyone. Mark Strong for
let's
everyone.
face it, Al Pacino would be better.
That's
as
the
Carmine
answer.
Falcone as well.
Obviously, yeah.
Ha ha. Batman. The Creature Galindo. Hey, Real Rejects. Love the trailer. Love the outfit. How it looks and sounds, and the music got me. Top movie I'm looking forward to next year. Thanks, you, as always. I said it right. For everything you do. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Thank you so much. I feel like this was a great Christmas present to all of us. You should all be thankful that we got this trailer.
Yeah.
All right? Don't be jerks. Don't try to tear people down who like it. I see the we only got 98.4% like ratio on our video, which tells me that they don't like it. Has nothing to do with us. It's just a trailer.
No, it's them.
It's
yeah.
just a trailer. It's it. It
I
has
do
nothing to
guarantee
with
there's
us.
a decent amount of people just going around disliking.
Oh, of course, especially because we're smiling in the thumbnail.
Yeah, who do we think we are? Enjoying things? Cowards. Shills for liking things. Thrills and Shills is fun for that, though. That commentary on us.
Thrills and
liking
shills and everything in between.
things. Yeah.
There was another word. Is there ills that
Thrill,
means in between?
shills. I mean, thrill, shills, and ills.
Thrill, shills, and everything in between.
Thrill, shills, gills, fishing podcast.
I don't got time to be a shill.
No.
I went to a Disney press screening for Lion King Mufasa, and I walked out. I'm like, I'm just gonna shit on this movie.
Does not look good.
And people are still gonna be like, "You're a fucking Disney shill." I'm like, "You just not see."
They don't care. They want to just find the
They just
positive.
want
to be
people
mad
to
at.
be honest. That's it. You just gotta be honest. And as long as you don't spoil shit, that's the only rule you gotta play by. Is don't
People
spoil
brag it.
shit. Literally, I see those people who are always online talking shit about what's that guy's? I forgot his fucking name. Thrills, shills, and nipple chills. Oh my god!
I thought you
what
would
a
have already thought
great
of that.
what a great idea. That's a great title. That might be it.
We cannot bring in nipple chills.
Oh, come on, man. That would be so good. I know we probably would never be taken seriously.
Yeah, we cannot bring guests on nipple chills.
Thrills, who knows?
Thrills and shills paying the bills.
Thrills and shills paying the bills. Now it's just
fun.
like doubling down on the shills part.
Yeah, it's like we've got to make sure the thrills and the shield. What do we got?
Chad Visla, Koi, you and a TikToker named Panda Red have both expanded my love for comics, and I can't be more grateful.
I love to hear that. Actually, I came across a Panda Red video a few months back, and I was like, I like this. So, yeah, thank you.
hell
That
with
means a
them.
lot. Yeah.
To hell with that.
And I appreciate it. I'm working on
No,
it.
Panda Red has nothing on Koi.
Nothing.
I have no idea who Panda Red is.
Don't
what
know.
a Panda Red is. Never seen a Panda Red. Never even heard
Nothing
of Panda
on
Red
me.
until this moment.
Yeah.
But no.
no.
This is not biased.
No.
This is objective.
Without even
speak.
knowing. Just no.
That's how you talk in this world.
Thank you,
Thrills and
Shad.
shills and nipple chills. Mumra, Koi. Why no Superman 2, 3, or 4 on the channel yet? I totally heard that in a racist Chinese voice.
Wow. I mean,
Just be honest.
that's a Greg question. That's not a Koi question.
Come on, Koi. Do it in a Chinese accent.
No, I'm gonna keep my job and not be
Come
an
on,
80s stereotype.
Koi. Come on.
I don't even know what that would be. There's no.
Mickey Rooney did it.
Yeah, and it's still the thing about that movie. People go, well, it'd be great if not.
No.
I
I think that's what makes the movie.
would watch those films. I have not seen those films still.
Well, I would actually. I've never seen Superman 3 or 4, and I have seen Superman 2, the not Donner cut, but I don't remember jack shit about it.
We could do the 2
I
and the 3
remember
probably fun.
Superman the movie pretty well. You've already covered that here.
Did it?
But I would. It would be fun to cover like 2, 3, and 4 leading up to this movie.
That'd be fun.
I think that would be fun to do because I've always wanted to see 3 and 4. I hear they're terrible.
Yeah, here and it'd be fun to do that as a
And
group.
that
It'd be fun to.
documentary didn't make it look any better.
When it was
considering-
like, and he was broken as a man,
He was depressed as
and
shit
he
and
was
wondering
not
why am I
happy
doing this. I'm like, am I even gonna want to make fun of this, knowing the toll it took on this guy's
Yeah.
well-being?
But it'd be better to do
Um,
as a group. Ralph Fiennes as Brainiac is always a great idea. Love that.
Nah,
But that'd be
Al
fun.
Pacino.
Al Pacino or nothing. But yeah, I love that. Mumra, we may.
Luthor.
That's good. I like
LJ.
Otis.
Oh
She said he's hilarious.
The thing about Heat that I got a problem is why is it in L.A. and both of them are the best bank robber and the best cop are both New Yorkers and they never bring that up.
Yep.
Just saying.
Yep.
Both Italian New Yorkers.
I love Heat, but that is a flaw.
It's not even a flaw. It's just a super distracting detail when I'm watching it.
That whole New York diner scene where they're in
It's
L.A.
like,
Real
why are
confusing.
why are they in L.A.? Love your rejects. And also, sir, on the side of the cast, I brought it up earlier in the chat. Really got mad at me, so I've changed my opinion.
Yeah,
I
that's how it's
trust
done.
Gunn, but if it was anyone else, would be more critical of the trailer. Yeah, I think no. I feel like you make a good point, but the other thing that I came to the conclusion of, out of my own volition, was that this talk is still about Superman and not about any of these other characters. I don't feel like any of these other characters are big enough to distract. And that's why I feel like it's smart to use Guy Gardner instead of Hal Jordan. Otherwise, people would be fucking talking about Green
John
Lantern the whole
Stewart
time.
or
Yeah. Yeah, even John Stewart. Sure, absolutely. But Guy Gardner is like, a lot of people are like, who's that?
Yeah.
So I think it works. And if you do know him, it doesn't feel anywhere near as big as none of them feel bigger than Superman.
And it introduces the idea of the lanterns. It introduces
Yes.
that kind of mythology to grow out, which I think is great.
Dude, totally. Handsome Ransom. What a great name. That's a great name.
Handsome Ransom.
You zoom in on the boots. You're just going to have to put a foot down. Its trailer was the perfect amount, though. Stoked to see the movie now. Muscles. Koi, how are your calves? I've been jump roping a lot. My calves are getting so much more defined. Calf check.
Calf check.
Calf check, everyone. Calf check. Oh, damn. Damn. We're both getting our calves going.
Hold on, I'm trying to get the frames. You can
God, it's so fucking hard to, like, turn and fucking
Yeah,
show
don't-
your goddamn calves on screen.
go. I mean,
You
I
guys
got
are the
pretty
problem we're
calves.
having. Yeah. Damn, we got calves.
Hold on, me.
I'm loving the jump roping.
Let's see if I can. Here we go.
Oh, look at this.
I got pretty defined. I work my calf. Look at that. Yeah, little shelf. Little shelf.
But when I do like that one with the press on the shoulders, it fucks my shoulders up every time, so I don't do it.
Oh yeah, I get blood capillaries breaking
I'm
because
like
I'm
in-
doing like 200 pounds. So
I'm in
it-
like pain for
oh,
like
mine's just like
days.
blood blisters.
Oh,
I
really?
get where the leg was resting. It breaks all the blood vessels, and I look like I have a backpack of blood.
Oh, okay. No, I'm in like legit like shoulder pain.
Oh, mine's not pain. It's just blood.
Yeah, so I can't do that.
Yeah, I like leg day.
Matt.
I'm the one guy. Dad calves in the making. Goddamn right.
Do you listen to Mike Israeto? Oh, what's his name? Bald guy? Big bald guy? He's so funny and he's so cool.
I don't know.
I think you'd love his videos. Oh, my God. I think you'd love him. I really do. I think he's so... oh, God. Coy, you got to watch him.
All right, Mike, something
he's
bald
on,
guy.
He's on Chris Williamson's podcast
Oh, I like him.
a lot. And he actually... There's a whole video on Chris Williamson's channel where he took him working out. Matt Thomas. He's really big on hypertrophy.
Oh, hypertrophy.
Hypertrophy.
Hypertrophy. He's big on having a
Say
stroke.
this fast enough, you won't
Hypertrophy.
hear me mispronounce this.
Hypertrophy.
Matt Thomas, Supergirl seen on set in Cleveland a few times, but not okay. Oh, so for the actual Superman movie. Okay, cool. All right. Lily Alcock's awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think she's gonna be great. I think she's the perfect Kara.
Has she done what else has she done outside of Game of Thrones? Do you know? Or House of the Dragon, I mean?
I don't know her other work. I know she was an Australian, Australian.
I know
stuff.
she was in Australia.
Now she's
and then
not.
She changed.
Now she's Kryptonian.
Now she's Mel
You
Gibson.
know, he was born in New York. He could run for president.
As he should.
My win. House of Dragon, Upright, House of the Dragon. Yeah, mainly those things. Supergirl.
It's
Woman of
such a
Tomorrow.
fascinating prospect being Superman or Supergirl because some people will be like, she's not, she's too tiny, she can't be buff enough. I'm like, his actual physicality structure has nothing to do with why he's like super strong. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not about weightlifting Superman. Yeah.
We will get to the stream lives. We're going to end it off with that. F4 will make $1 billion. If Doom is in it, $1.5 billion. He's for sure going to have a cameo in there.
Oh, he has to. It's,
Okay, that is the thing that could for sure that could cause it to beat Superman if
Downey.
Yeah,
And if they put him in the ads.
that's why Downey's there.
I mean, it's literally for that.
That's literally why Downey's there.
That might be the first thing
I didn't
I
even
hear.
consider that honestly.
That said, I still think Superman's a bigger character than Downey is a bigger actor. I think there, as long as the movie's good and words get out there, then I think that's the answer.
Yeah, but it has to be like a really good movie.
Yeah, I agree. I think word of mouth will keep Superman on top, but we'll see.
Raccoon shampoo Coy, this is completely off topic, but do you have any comic recommendations for Martian Manhunter? My God, they don't stop. Who cares about comics?
Grant Morrison's Justice League run, Mark Wade's JLA Year One,
Let's go look at photos of Millie.
Ostrander's 1988 run, and Absolute Martian Manhunter that launches in the spring.
Is that her? Is that AI?
It's AI.
Are you sure?
Stable diffusion embedding.
Oh, someone who apparently hates AI suddenly knows what AI is.
It was written under the
Oh.
image.
Oh, I didn't even know what that meant.
It's
I
stable.
thought that was just a company
a
that
s-
takes photos.
It's a style of AI. Stable diffusion is one of the more problematic ones.
Did you hear Selena Gomez is getting married?
To the dude from Dave, the music producer.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool, man. I can't wait to see your Superman 2025 merch. We gotta have Superman merch. That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
Batman. Watch my show where I recommend comics. Doing it today live at like 1-ish on my
No.
page. Subscribe.
Yeah, you can hear him talk about everything he talked about here.
Almost at 40K. No, it's gonna be comics. I got This Week in Comics to talk about. Today's my comic show. I'm gonna use Superman as the headline because I want to bring people in.
Boring.
But all these people that want to talk comics, that's what it's for.
No,
Almost at 40K, Greg.
Drew
I'm
Mitchell.
gonna cross 40K today. Thank you. I'm really proud of it. I've been working my butt off.
What's your most popular successful video?
Probably the Superman video today.
Really?
It's killing it, dude. I'm at 37K.
No way, really.
I'm like very proud of that. 37K was Godzilla -1 review.
Cool.
I think my Deadpool Wolverine era stuff was pretty good. I'm at 39.3. Let me see. Is there a
How
way
much
to-
money have you made? Talk about it publicly.
I don't think it does that yet. It's only been
Come on,
4
talk
hours.
about it really public.
I mean, I don't make a lot of money, so I could say like $12 a video is why I put in all these hours.
No, come on, man. Reveal
People
your
love it.
millions.
People, my millions of dollars that I don't have. My net worth on Google
Doesn't
is pretty
matter.
high.
They don't know, man.
They don't know,
They
man.
don't know. You can just tell them.
Sort by most viewed. My most viewed video, 52K for Deadpool Wolverine spoiler review. I might pass that with Superman.
Wow.
With my own thumbnails. My first thumbnail I was proud of. I sent it to Greg, and I was like, I made a Greg thumbnail.
There you go. Who made that thumbnail?
You did. That's why I noticed.
Who edited that video?
You did. I give you credit.
That's right. Not in there. I have
I-
not seen Doom Prophecy. I hear it's really boring. And I just go by other people's opinions now when it comes to anything I want to watch.
This might literally become one
Just
of my most
joking.
watched.
It'll definitely be your most popular
I'm
video.
so proud of that.
Yeah, as
With
you
a
should
Koi
be.
thumbnail. I did
As
all
you
myself.
should be. As you should be, Koi.
Guys, I'm working hard. I'm real tired.
I'll watch Doom Prophecy before Dune 3 comes out, just so I can see how it's not connected at all.
This is unrelated. I love you get the one show, and your reactions were like a sentence of like dejected, like, oh, unfortunate.
Don't worry, Spidey Sensei. It's the holidays. Save it for family. Drew Mitchell, my buddies at Snyderverse Stan. My tea's gone cold. I'm wondering why. And refuses to look at this objectively. The funny thing is, he's supposed to be a bigger Superman fan than me. Don't you know that Zack Snyder invented Superman?
Yeah, he put the S in Superman.
That's what a lot of people treat it like.
Also, like, we've had so many, like, Smallville, I think, is super formative. Obviously, the Christopher Reeve movie, like, it's really, it's just, you know, it's what you grew up on, what your generation grew up on. And I respect the take, but it is a very bold, specific take that not everyone identifies with. So it's, as long as you're not being a dick to other people, enjoy whatever movies you like.
I think Superman and Bond are the two hardest things to break out of the mold of being. Way more than Batman, I think. Like, we've seen Batman actors, we've seen Michael Keaton totally break out. We've seen Christian Bale completely break out.
Yeah.
You know, Ben Affleck was Ben Affleck before.
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson was Robert Pattinson before. I think Superman and Bond, because usually that's when they become famous. is
Right.
when
It
they do.
cements them as a thing.
It's really hard. Even with talking with David Corenswet, I was like, man, this guy just looks and feels like Superman.
Dude, it was crazy. Like, talking to him,
But I'm
looking
like-
at his eyes, I'm like, that's Superman.
Will I be able to not just think of Superman now if you do something else? Like,
And even if he
it's a
didn't
little hard, right?
get cast,
Tom
I feel like if
Welling
I'd
is
see him,
stuck
yeah.
in there. You know,
Cheaper by the
Christopher
Dozen
Reeve
starring
had a hard
Superman.
time. Has there been a Superman to break out?
Brandon Routh didn't. Christopher Reeve didn't. I don't think you really.
Henry Cavill, I mean, he had The Witcher running simultaneous, and he's done other work that we really love.
Man from U.N.C.L.E. was great, but nobody saw it.
I think he's amazing in Man from U.N.C.L.E. It
Uh,
might be getting a sequel now.
Oh, yeah?
I haven't seen Ministry of Ungentlemanly
I was about to
Warfare,
say that one is fun. Nobody saw it. I saw
Yeah,
it in
no one
theaters. I
saw
liked
that.
it.
But yeah, there's definitely a Superman.
Argyle didn't do great.
It's so hard to break out of being Superman. It's really hard. But yeah, so good luck, David Corenswet. You're only like 21 years old, so good. I was like 30. He's like,
Dude, it's crazy.
He's young, right?
And, like, what a sweet guy, too. I really hope. Yeah.
Silkworm. Don't worry, Dan V900. We will end on the Streamlabs. So happy Krypto is coming to life. Now I hope we get Comet and Supergirl. What?
World of Tomorrow. But also, what?
That's how I interpret it.
That's great. I think that there is a high potential of animals being a very prevalent force in this, and Comet is fantastic. Comet's also like integral to the story, so I do think we get Comet. And I think a cosmic world, like the cosmic flavor of Supergirl, allows for a lot of that. So I agree with you. I think that's coming.
I don't think some people realize that the Green Lantern is not Hal Jordan.
They'll learn.
I think some people think it's
They're like, why does he have that haircut?
because if you don't follow the news and shit, all you
just
see is
like-
Green Lantern ring.
right.
You're like, oh my god.
But I think that's gonna be the punchline.
what have they done to Hal Jordan?
I think that's gonna be the joke. Is like he's the invalid lantern.
Yeah. Moving on. Now that Koi and I have had our moment. We're almost there, Koi. Guito Galindo also is Idris's blood sport in this movie. I think that's the one punching through the wall, 157.
Want to pull up 157? I love Bloodsport. I love Idris.
I didn't even think about
He
that.
shoots Superman.
Yeah, no,
Canonically.
that I mean, in the movie they kept that in there too as part of his backstory. Oh, but it really seemed like it was the Henry Cavill Superman and how they did it.
They
but now
wasn't in
things- Yeah, it's
He wasn't
true.
in it.
This is James Gunn's evil plan
Dude, I would
all
love
along. Oh man,
any Idris Elba. As you guys saw in my interview, I love that man's work so much.
that performance in the Suicide Squad is
So good.
so overlooked.
Dude,
It
I
is
had a harder
such
time.
strong performance.
You know I love Keanu Reeves, but I've been around Keanu Reeves enough that I am like not as overwhelmed. No. I just mean like I'd never been around Idris Elba, and I had a harder time looking at the screen being like, oh, that's Idris Elba.
yeah,
And I did not expect that. Like I was like, oh, it's Idris Elba. He's got such presence.
He's presence. He's a charming
Even in
guy.
an interview, like you were
Yeah.
sitting there, he was just like, "How are you, mate?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"No, it's Idris Elba."
Yeah,
He's such a delight. He's so warm and like pleasant. He has warmth, Greg.
really. He's
he's
got
warm.
warmth. That's what you're missing, Koi.
Yep,
No, he's warm.
He's warm and capable.
Competent.
Competent. He's warm and competent. Working on the warmth. Greg thinks I'm not warm.
You're not. You're the one who says that.
I'm not warm. That's fair.
Yeah, Idris Elba is so. I think he's incredibly overlooked in that movie because he's like he brings the drama and the weight, but he's also funny as hell and he's cool.
And
He's
effortless.
badass.
There's such a cool.
If-
Yeah.
effortless is a great word for it. And he comes across so human at the same time. It's a fully three-dimensional role as the lead action hero, but he's not playing action hero.
Yeah.
Even like you fully buy that decision at the end when Starro is destroying and he decides to lead the way into like, fuck it, might as well go
All
out
right,
die.
while we're here,
I
yeah.
try, yeah. You know, it's
Love that role.
such a great moment. That moment brings me to tears.
He
every time.
anchors
when,
that
when
movie
they-
in so
when
many
they
ways.
decide to go fight. I'm like that moment always brings me to tears. It's such a cool, and it's just so because of the gun. I fucking love that movie.
Yeah, movie's fantastic.
I love that movie so much. Why don't more people love that movie?
I don't know, man.
love that movie
It's-
so
I mean,
much.
that's what helped
I think
get us
it's
here.
Such a good movie. The
Yeah.
Suicide Squad is so good. Drew Mitchell. He says the teaser was too campy. The Snyder friend. It doesn't have the mature tone of some of the new comics. I'm not a comics expert, but is this not Superman? I mean, how is the tone? It didn't look too campy to me. I mean, it's colorful, but I wouldn't call it campy.
Also,
I feel like it could be it looked like a rather serious trailer.
yeah. I don't think there was very little humor, if any, in it, and
Yeah.
that's part of camp.
I mean, that's part of the fun with James Gunn. Part of the fun with James Gunn. As he eats a hot dog bun. It's that he
He does Eminem by Chris D'Elia,
He
just
d-
like he does Patrick Warburton to get to. Sorry, you're saying.
he knows how to bring colorful things to life, but have you take it seriously even when it's being fun.
Yeah.
That's a rare gift as a filmmaker. It's really hard to hit that tone, and he does that with Suicide Squad. He did that with the Guardians movies. Guardians 3 is the most serious one, and that's the one that's most focused on Rocket.
Yeah.
A talking raccoon.
Which we earned through
Yeah.
time. I think reevaluate that friendship.
Yeah. I think you should either cut that friendship off or kill that friend.
Make a choice.
One of the two.
You got to make a big decision.
Okay, so I usually don't condone murder, but in this case, I will gladly make an exception and pay for it.
I just felt a future court case where I'm on video next to Greg espousing murder, and I'm just gonna have to deal with that now. This is gonna be used in the court of law. I didn't encourage death. I said friendship. Just for the record, officer.
Thrills and chills and nipple chills.
My
Dude,
future
it
looks bright.
works.
It does. I'll
What
think
about
it.
thrills and chills?
The shills is the funny
I
part.
know, but the nipple chills. Marco Tunstall, fingers crossed. F4 and Superman pull off a Barbie Oppenheimer situation. Are they going to release on the same
2
weekend?
weeks. 2 weeks apart. 11th
No, they
and
should.
the 25th.
They should get. I think they should change the release and get released on the same weekend. That. They would be like, the box office has literally exploded this weekend.
Fantastic, super fantastic.
Fandango has shut down. Y2K has finally
Everything
happened.
is broken.
It would be
Insane.
It would be the most insane weekend of
I would
all
be so
time.
happy. I feel like I was at
There's
a comic store
no
for
way
weeks.
they can pull that off.
Weeks of being in a
Can
comic
you
store.
imagine?
Because
That would
Barbie
be
and Oppenheimer were
crazy.
at least different audiences that combined. Like it was counter-programmed.
Yeah,
These
there
are the
was
same
a bit of
audience.
a joke of
Yeah,
like, watch these two totally different films.
Whereas two of the same genre
But if you had Fantastic Four and Superman, Marvel and DC the same weekend with two very important films,
live that dream.
whoa, that would be the nuttiest box office weekend ever. It really would be.
Yeah.
I don't know how they would pull that off.
Fantastic Man.
Opa, seats look CW-ish. Correct, Superman outfit is better. Oh my god.
At least they paid.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
You know what? That's fine. You can have that. Can't wait to see you be proved wrong. By them not changing the outfits. But you're watching it. Drew Mitchell. P.S. First time Super Center hating long time.
Super Center hating longtime viewer. What? Oh, Super Chatter hating maybe. I don't know. I don't know what that word's supposed to be. Super Center hating.
That's not monosyllabic.
No, that's polysyllabic, but it's invented. And when I don't know a word, I don't know what their context was.
Any non-reject project you guys are working on? Dude, I'm always working on non-reject projects. And then it's like, just finding the time to work on them is a little bit hard. And Koi, he's working at DC Studios, thrilling and shilling his way up the ladder.
Yeah. I got my own page. Almost at 40,000.
Yeah.
DC Studio Showcase comic correspondent.
But once
Also,
it starts making money, I'm going to buy it off.
yeah, take it away. I also have a podcast I never talk about called Koicast. That is literally everywhere you can stream podcasts. I have a Patreon where I review in like letter grade every comic I read that week. So like 50 comics of the new stuff. I read about 20 comics of old stuff for context of what's coming out. But like I read about 50 new comics and I give letter graded for each and every one of those. And Patreon's like $5 to $100, whatever you want to donate. So it's $5 and up. So Patreon, podcast, my page, Capes and Cowls. Here, DC Studios Showcase, and there's stuff I'm forgetting. But yeah, I'm busy.
Handsome Ransom says, love
Thank
you,
you
Roxy.
for the opportunity to shout out stuff.
Grimbane, that is a T-shirt. There are people you don't need in your life, and the internet is most of them. That is a great
Yeah.
shirt. I'm going to steal that shirt.
Damn it! I said it on the live
You said
here.
it here at Real Rejects, and we own every word you say.
Damn it. It is a good sentence though. It really is how I feel. I am cutting back on social media, and I might be hiring a friend of mine as a social media manager and
Don't do it.
just giving her my content.
You don't want to hire your friends.
I know.
Believe me.
And then you're trapped. with them.
Everyone here I work with is my friend.
Is it a problem for the company?
Yes. That company. That's what the joke is. Roxy. That's what Roxy says. Is like, I'm doing this for the company. I'm doing this for the company. I'm like, no one calls it the
No
company.
one calls it the
Roxy.
company.
No one's called
I've never even thought of it.
Yeah.
Like I've never even had the thought, like, oh, what does this affect the company?
yeah.
Well, I should wear the shirt.
No one.
I
no
need to
one
wear
ever calls it that.
My uniform for the company. Here we are.
Oh God, why'd you tell me to chill with the woman jokes? Now I'm gonna double down.
Did
Great.
I?
No.
Oh.
And I was saying chill with the woman jokes. Now,
Oh.
I know it just
Now that's
makes
all-
me
that's all
want
he's got.
to.
Now the rest of the episode.
Now it makes me want to do more.
LJ Spears coming in clutch. The company.
The company.
Focus on the company.
I don't even recall the last time we made a
Focus on
woman
the
joke in the
company.
last like 20 to 30 minutes.
Oh.
Apparently we did.
With the woman left.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you haven't had the opportunity.
But would you call her a woman? By
I
the way she carries herself.
I thought you were going to go with like a kitchen joke. Like she left to come back to the kitchen. That's what I would have done. Sorry. There's no way out of this hole.
For the company. Yeah, I would love to interview Roxy one day. I that's one of the plans, to interview her.
Because ours went so well. He's
And
like,
I'm going to
"Let's
be
stop this
like, so
little
tell
thing."
me about how you feel about your looks.
Yeah, let's go ahead and make sure that's the key.
This is what people
ingredient.
want to hear
This
about.
is why we're here. Ask the live chat.
About.
Not about your intellect, not
front-
about your well-readness, not about your business acumen.
That is all just a front for your
Yeah.
own looks.
Roxy's one of the hardest workers I know because of her looks. a very, very hard worker that cares about her family more than anyone and does nothing but make sure everyone is a well-oiled
She's an
machine.
insane hard worker.
And
like,
doesn't stop, doesn't sleep, got up at 4:30, got ready, and then showed up here coming from an hour away.
I'm not even sure she went to sleep.
I don't think she did.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
and
she
that's
was
not
just-
healthy, by the way. I don't espouse the work ethic we all have. It's not healthy. I'm so
And
tired.
then she was only supposed to be here for 15 minutes, and then she
stayed.
stuck around to do some social media work.
I was going
and
to
then-
edit, and then Roxy
then
just wanted to
stu-
talk about Superman, and I was
stuck
happy to.
And she stuck around for a live stream too. So like, yeah, she's one of the
Are
hardest
these the
working
jokes
people.
you wanted?
Yeah, this is
Love
funny.
Roxy.
I mean, yeah, what a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I mean, I forgot the
Dante,
character.
I forgot. That's right. Yeah, the satire.
You know, for the company.
Dante Cereccia. Hey guys, love the trailer. And you. I especially love how this feels like the Soups. Let's go. Let's go.
I was feeling Soup's vibe.
Soups.
Yeah.
Soups.
Hope he's doing good today. I hope he's having a great day. I
He
hope
is.
he's got to be.
He spontaneously what the fuck? Spontaneously combustion.
Just full joy.
Yeah.
I love that I saw the joke not happening. You're just like not getting it out.
You know what I mean? He bursts into flames, goddammit. JLA cartoons come to life in the best way possible. Keep it up.
I'm very, very excited. I'm glad you enjoyed it as well. I know a lot of people aren't, but like if I think more are than aren't, they're just not yelling about it. So don't let that cloud the experience. It
I
is
feel
a
like
very
people
good
think
trailer.
it needs to
I
be like the greatest thing ever. But
think. Great.
I mean, might not look like the greatest thing ever, but I don't know. I never really get too bent. I don't recall the last time I was like super bent out of show. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. There's so many more here.
It's 11:12, Greg.
Hey.
I got here at 5:40. Holy shit.
You've been here a long time.
I've been here 5.5 hours.
Almost 6, man. We're almost there. You're almost at the 6
I
hour
still have
mark.
so many hours of work to do.
So do I. We're on this journey together, Coy. Don't you fret. Landon Miller says, I think I'm low-key also more excited for the second season of Peacemaker. Dude, that's going to be a show we cover. I can't wait to do
I'm
it.
like super excited. I don't think I did Peacemaker season 1 here, did I?
You did not.
Dude.
I had to carry it the whole
Oh,
time and
man.
being like, wow, that is like the thing that I read.
Yeah. I know these comics. Is that how you pronounce it? Comics?
Whenever a name was said, I would just repeat that name out loud in excitement. And then when
Yeah.
editing, I would go,
Oh.
okay, that's someone. Keep that. Keep
Insert.
that. That
Insert.
was no one.
Insert.
Don't need that.
Yep. Correct.
I'm happy for Peacemaker. Pushing Ryucat. Coy Greg, great coverage of the trailer.
Thank
Now let's start talking about Planet Hulk movie starring script getting leaked with Ed Norton returning and Doc Samson debut. That is not happening.
That's not.
There's no way that's going to happen.
I can type words, but Bush and Ryu
my
Cat, don't believe
words.
everything you read.
Keep this clip for the inevitable YouTube documentary when Planet Hulk happens and Ed Norton returns, which wouldn't make sense because it is the same
Man, as Mark
Hulk
Ruffalo.
as Mark Ruffalo. But
don't know.
you keep this when it does happen.
You'll be ready. I just don't believe
You're like-
everything you read. That people can literally type anything and say like breaking or leak or whatever, and I think it misleads a lot of people.
Yeah, especially nowadays with AI, it's so easy to have them generate shit.
Is that a photo of Millie Alcock? No, correct. That's like literally happened like 20
No.
minutes ago.
But I'm saying when the script stuff, like there was this thing
Yeah.
going around about like, oh, here's the, and maybe it's true, maybe it's not, I don't fucking know. But I'm saying it's like so easy to do with like, oh, here's the original script outline for Avengers King Dynasty before it was canon. I'm like, it's really easy to just feed something a bunch of information and be like, now write me this, and then put it out as a leak, and then someone's like, oh my god, now it's a, you know,
Yeah.
it's really easy to do.
Yeah, and it's gross when it becomes news because it's never been real.
Jackson Deer, late to the stream, but love what you all do. Hey, I love that you made it here to contribute that. Thank you so much. Andrew Garcia, can't wait to get this color pop in DC. It's how these heroes should look. And we got Krypto hyped.
The vibrancy of Golden and Silver Age comics is definitely reflected here, and I think it's a good move. I'm excited.
Stop talking about comics.
I was so quick though.
Nobody cares.
Dozens of people asked for Rex.
Nobody,
Dozens.
nobody likes comics.
Nobody. Not a person.
Nobody.
Not a one. Everyone.
Stephanie
knows.
Horton.
I was hoping that was a comic.
Oh, Stephanie, you're sick today.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Hydrate. Ginger ale.
That's what it is. You're dehydrated.
Yeah.
Happy to have viewed the exciting teaser and been listening to all as I try to recover. I hope we're helping you out, and I hope our woman jokes have not offended you.
Yeah.
And I hope you have understood that we just mean them with the utmost sincerity.
Satire.
Oh, yes. Satire, I mean.
Satire.
but I hope you're feeling okay. Kartiki Singh, thank you so much for the super sticker. Now we're at the end game. We're at the end game.
Oh, we're in the
Koi.
end game now.
We're in the end game, Koi. This is the end.
Our only friend, the end.
My only Francis Ford Coppola.
It's the only one.
You haven't seen Apocalypse Now?
Never.
I was going through the list of
I
movies.
sent you all the ones.
I know, and I was like, he hasn't seen Apocalypse Now.
Not a big
I'm like,
war
oh my
movie guy.
God.
I watched
Koi
Platoon
would be
here.
so bored watching
Oh,
that movie.
he would love to stare at the screen with
I
that.
love like those kind of movies. I'm like, Koi would probably hate this film.
yeah.
um,
I think we did the Superman the Animated Series because you called it Task. 3 to go, 4 to go, something like that.
What's Real Entertainment? As a native Clevelander, the Hawkgirl shot is what got me. Oh, great.
Nice.
Because that actress is from Cleveland, and they had her
Aw.
flying in by one of the city's most iconic buildings.
That's cool.
Love my city being on display and the character coming home to Cleveland. So is it taking place in Cleveland?
Probably Metropolis just using Cleveland as a like because you use the iconography.
Why isn't it New York or Chicago?
Because Metropolis. But yeah, that I didn't know that about her. That's awesome. That makes me happy. I like whenever I went home to Boston for work. I only did it a couple times, but it was always like so fulfilling.
Yeah, I agree. I agree about your Boston.
Yeah, he's like Greg loves when he goes home to
I
Boston.
love when I go home to Boston. I'm
Thrilled
like,
every time.
Wow, this is
For
great.
work,
It's
what
great
an
for you.
honor. What an
Bring it
honor.
home.
I
Look
love
at
this. They got
Everyone's calling me homophobic slurs.
Harvard
This is
Yard.
great.
They got some fucking coffee, a kid.
Dan V900. It is clear from the trailer that Lois knows who Superman is from the relationship, which is great. Unless she's stupid. Next June.
Investigative reporter
She's
Lois Lane.
Stupid woman. Stupid.
And they're back. And they're back.
And Superman just calls her pet. Next June, there is a box set like Batman with Kingdom Come, All-Star, whatever happened to the Man Tomorrow for all seasons, which is so cool. This is why we got to blow up our social media. That way we can get free shit from Warner Brothers. When they're like, oh my God,
Yeah.
Warner Brothers sent us a box, and they're saying it's just exclusively made for us. And then we see a bunch of other influencers
We're like,
unbox
wait a
it the same
second.
day.
What
We're
is
like,
this?
What
I guess
the hell?
this is how it
I
is.
thought this one letter was written just for me.
I also
you
own
said,
all those comics.
You said
But I want them.
you said Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
James Gunn inscripted this to
Wrote-
me.
He printed
You
them himself.
You lied,
He
Warner
printed them
Brothers.
himself. Those are great pulls, and I'm very excited for that box set. Thank you for letting us.
But you know what's really cool? People are so focused on Superman versus Fantastic Four that they don't realize Jurassic World Rebirth comes out 9 days before Superman. Every Jurassic World film has made $1 million. It's a real competition. It's a bad release date from that standpoint. Monsters, kaiju, shit like that, people constantly forget. Those are juggernauts generally.
Yeah.
People love that.
That is actually a really good point. I don't think about Jurassic World, and that is next year. I am very intrigued how that affects it, and that is a hell of a triple feature. Jurassic World, Superman, and Fantastic Four sounds like my whole ass childhood. So bring that fucking
Can
day
you
on.
skip them all so you can react to them?
Yeah, totally.
I know you do that for me.
Yep.
Thanks, Coy.
Anytime. This is how satire works. Back at Greg. This is how it is.
It's not funny.
How does it feel,
There's
Greg?
gonna be big videos.
You got
right.
Roxy Kitchened.
What real entertainment? Koi, funny you say Cleveland feels like Metropolis because Cleveland is Metropolis, the original inspiration by two young Clevelanders.
Yes, sir.
It's why.
what I was saying.
Oh, it's my gunshot here, and I can't. Okay, wow.
That's so
I
funny. Him reacting to this beat
literally
after the next question.
Learned
Yes.
something from that.
Yeah, that's and like New York, Gotham are kind of parallel. Cleveland, Metropolis.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yes, sir.
Oh, because Christopher Nolan grew up in Chicago. That's why The
Yeah.
Dark Knight looks like Chicago.
He made
Yeah.
a choice.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense now. Dan V900. Thanks for that. I actually got educated on something there. I can use some education. Like words like monosyllabic or polyamorous. Speaking of more comic
Not
recommendations,
polysyllabic, polyamorous.
I would strongly recommend the Superman run by Josh Williamson and Dan Mora, who joined at issue 19 and 21, is next. Then the Geoff Johns JSA run for Mr. Terrific. I'm totally stroking my nipple, where he becomes the
Having
leader
fun.
and is great in it.
That's funny. I mentioned the Jeff Johns JSA, I think, earlier. But yeah, Mr. Terrific's great in that. The Williamson Superman stuff is pretty spectacular. I'm really digging Superman right now, both Action Comics and in his title, Greg's Peck Decking. But I think Josh
Peck-decking.
Williams' son is a great choice for very approachable books. Dan V900, I agree with your recommendations.
Peck
I don't know
decking.
if I can get through the sweatshirt. Oh,
Yeah, you can.
2 layers.
You always
T-shirt
can.
and sweatshirt.
All right. Oh my God, we've done them all, Coy.
Yes.
That's it for the day on that.
Yes.
Allow 60. Okay. It's what? do we say speed round of what did we do last time? Speed. Oh yeah, we set a
We
timer.
did 3 minutes, I think.
Let's do 90 seconds.
Okay, because I have to go home and sleep and then edit.
Yep.
Probably not gonna sleep. Just gonna go right to editing.
All right, guys. End of the stream. I'm gonna set a timer for 90 seconds, and we're gonna speed round. It's like the ending of Whose Line Is It Anyway? We're gonna speed round what we see in the live chat. Ready? And go.
Do you think the Matt Reeves Batman will fit into the DCU if James Gunn wants to incorporate? Nope, it will not. It'll stay separate very consciously. Greg, keep it in the gym, bro. It shows. RG 2088, great stream. Thank you. Very much appreciate it. We're working hard and not sleeping. Good work, lads. Very solid stream. Thank you, LJ Spears.
That's so kind. I think there's only like 3 people here.
There's a delay, too, so I feel like
No,
they
I
just
think,
found
I
out.
think there's only 3
Have we been
people
only
here.
talking to 3 people?
I believe there's only
All
3
right.
people
Well,
here.
is there a way to
I
know?
think we start off with a lot,
and we just
have
lit.
nobody.
Great stream. Love you guys. Thanks, Cody Brunson.
Yeah.
Do you think Matt Reeves Batman?
Pretty
No, I
sure.
do not. Harris Sadie, I think it's going to stay separate. Thank you, Alenti. Alenti's in here. Good to see you. Jake Gyllenhaal,
Aw,
Mr.
thank you,
Miracle. I
Alenti.
totally agree. I actually gave him that comic when we
Chlamydia!
because I want him to do it as well. Jordan Garza's got to yell about his condition. Love your work, Coy. Thank you, Shridi. I appreciate that very much.
Guardians of
Favorite
the
comic movie to watch the holidays? Batman
Galaxy
Returns, Guardians of the
Holiday
Galaxy Holiday
Special.
Special, but also Batman Returns. Definitely feels like a Christmas.
Of course, we're looking forward to Daredevil. Born
Yeah, that's going to be next March. Greg
Boy's
and I are
gonna
on the
react
best
to
of
that.
times. Very excited. Love being part of the Reject Nation. Thank you, Dev. Yeah, dude, I can't wait for our Daredevil.
That's gonna be
hang.
a
We didn't get
blast.
to
I cannot wait. We've
seasons 1 through 3.
never covered a Daredevil.
You and I
together.
have not Daredeviled. Coy and Greg, you're one of the best fit nerds I've seen. I'm a nerd, and my belly is talking. You know what? It's one meal and one step at a time. Get after them gains.
Brandon Davis should be thrown in that category
Dude,
too.
yoked,
Dude is
bro.
huge.
Coy for Green Arrow. Thank you. I've been trying. Look at this. I have a picture of me and Superman. I was like, that's the world's finest.
Coy will never
Superman and
watch.
Green Arrow.
He'll never watch Doctor.
It's too long. I'm so sorry. There's so many things to watch. Y'all were fun. Happy holidays. Yes,
Thank
this is
you.
probably the last stream of the year. We're going to take a little break. Greg's
Probably.
got a
It
late.
is undoubtedly.
Yeah, it is the
I
last
leave
time.
for New York.
He's got
in
a
week.
honeymoon,
Yeah.
and I have
Yeah.
sanity. We're going to be covering all the stuff over the gap, but we are not going to be physically here. That is 90 seconds.
That's the end, people. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to all who have contributed to the Super Chats and Streamlabs. We are going to take off now because we got other things to tend to, but thank you so much. Hail Superman
Hannah
and
wanted
James Gunn.